Allah, Lord Yah. Allah, Lord Yah. All praises, glory, and honor to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the owner, creator, and possessor of all things. Long live his anointed, beloved son, Hamashiach, the Messiah, Yahushua, Christ, who's currently sitting at his right hand right now as we speak. Long live the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, your brother Malachi Maccabee, honor, humility, STL. House of Zion, homeschool, and all of the above. Fourth tribe, static attic. Fourth tribe, static attic. All of the above. Back with another feast of dedication special, dedicated to dedication. More exploits of one of our lion-like ancestors, Judah Maccabee, or Judas Maccabeus, however you want to call it. So let me go ahead and share some of these links real quick. If I can be heard, throw a 7. Throw a 7 up in the chat if I can be heard. And let's get it done. I want to shout out to all the organizers and contributors and supporters. We have a feast of dedication this evening here in the STL. We're gonna bring the Shabbat in. So I want to shout out to all my brothers and sisters. You feel me? A lot of sisters came together. You feel me? Brothers as well, and organized and coordinated this feast. So I want to salute all the brothers and sisters here in the STL to actually, you feel me, put their hands to the plow so we could have us a successful feast this evening, going down from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. here in the STL, out here off St. Charles Rock Road. So all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. You never can say enough. There's a lot of work that get done behind the scenes that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people never see. So all praises to the Most High for that. So that's this evening. We'll be going back live again. They said they got Wi-Fi there, so we'll be going back live again this evening, just to, you understand, in the spirit of this dedication. And we're gonna bang to make sure the lights stay on, that it never goes out. All right. So if I can be heard, go ahead and throw a 9 up in there. Praise how y'all feast been going thus far though. This is an 8-day feast. Started on the 2nd of December. It ends on the 10th of December. You feel me? You may bump into some brothers that may been keeping it a day earlier or later than us or whatever. You feel me? You know, in due time, we'll all get on the same accord in due time. But until then, everything is about our sincere intention anyway. Feel me? So all praise to the Most High. Let me go ahead and send out a few of these links real quick. And then we're going to get it done, man. We got some second Maccabees. We got first Maccabee. We got a few scriptures we got to go into in the book of John and all that, and go further into this feast on why we doing what we doing. Why you Hebrews so adamant about keeping what's in the Bible, you feel me, and not and coming out of the ways of the world. Because trip off this, the world is in darkness. The world is in darkness when you're done talking. You feel me? If you're in the spirit of Christmas or Thanksgiving or Halloween or New Year's 10 days into the winter, or Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Labor Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. They got a day for every damn thing. You feel me? And not until the days or the set apart appointments that the Most High has in the scriptures. Even these, like the dedication was something that went down in our history to where the Most High, through the hands of brothers like Judah Maccabee and his brother Simon and them, worked a great deliverance from Greek tyranny, from Greek oppression. The very children that's oppressing us today. You see what I'm saying? And they made sure that what their father told them on his deathbed, that they died banging for this truth, man. Feel me? So we got forefathers that laid everything on the line. Mothers too laid everything on the line just so we could be here today. You feel me? So for us not to remember what has happened, you feel me, and act as if, oh, well, that's nothing, sweep it up under the rug. You understand? Even if you a brother, be like, well, I don't see it in Leviticus 23. I mean, I hear you, I understand that, you did, but it is in the scripture. And it's, of course, you wouldn't see it in Leviticus 23 because these events in our history hadn't happened when Moses was writing the Torah. You see what I'm saying? You know, that's why we celebrate. It's in the scripture. It's something to be remembered. And just like we getting handled today, you know, if we're valiant in spirit like these brothers was in the flesh, you feel me? We are supposed to wage war against all darkness, period. Any form, any shape, form, or fashion of. Right now ain't the time to be compromising. You're supposed to never compromise, period. You understand? Let alone, you understand, when it comes down to the worship of your God, who your God is, who you are as a people. We already got everything that you religiously keep everything your enemy does. You understand? Us as a people, we do. Right? But we already got, the Most High already has a way of worship in his holy Bible, in his Torah, in his scriptures. He already has it. You feel me? And a lot of our people so-called into Christianity, which is a form of worship or religion that's not in the Bible. You understand? I love to be the bearer of bad news. Christianity is not in the Bible. Right? Not I hate to be the bearer of bad news. No, I love to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to light outshining darkness. You feel me? Like if you in darkness, you ain't gonna like what you about to hear. And that's the thing. How many of us are truly into this Bible like we claim we are? You feel me? So let me go ahead and share this link real quick and we're gonna get her done. We're gonna get her done. I see all y'all up in here. That's what's up. Let's get it done, family. Let me go ahead and share some of these links like on Facebook real quick. Let people know we still banging. The light ain't went out. It never will. As long as you stay valiant in the spirit like these brothers was in the flesh, man, you ain't never got to worry about it. We've been warned too long to be compromising right now. You understand? Compromising for the sake of, and y'all watch that too, that so-called Christmas spirit. Watch that, man. It's a seductive, subtle spirit. It has everything to do with darkness. Everything. Chestnuts are roasting. And it's real. And if you ain't careful, you'll find yourself bobbing to it. Listening to the Michael Jackson and them. I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus, and you understand? Like if you're not careful, you'll be bobbing to it, rocking to it. So you understand? Stay conscious out here, man. Stay conscious. All right, bang. Let me go ahead, put this up here in Facebook and a few groups, and then I'm gonna shout some of y'all out, and then we're gonna get it done. And then we're gonna get it done. All praise and glory now to the Most High, own and creating and possessor of all things. How y'all feast of dedication going? You understand? People like, man, what I supposed to do? Man, remember what the Most High did for your forefathers and eat lawful. You understand? And bang, and look, and bang like hell to never let the light go out. Never. And when it's our time to speak up and speak about what's going on and speak about, you understand, the wickedness in these so-called folly days and pagan days, don't be biting your tongue, man. Our job is not to make wickedness feel comfortable. Our job is not to conform to it, nor make wickedness feel comfortable around us. It's not. You feel me? A lot of people don't like that, brother. That sounds kind of radical. Call it what you want it. Call it what you want it. You understand? But our job is to make sure the light never goes out. And how we gonna do that? Out here speaking in our inside voice, speaking softly about situations. You feel me? Even the sisters can be out. You know, hey, people, Merry Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. Why not? 'Cause it's not in the Bible. What's good? Feel people be like, oh my God, I never. Feel me? So people gonna talk crazy. Let them talk. You did. But our job is to bring forth the light. Yahushua, the Messiah, Christ, he never conformed or compromised. We're going to read some of it today. Even during the Feast of Dedication. Even during the Feast of Dedication, Yahushua, the Messiah, the Christ, and he was checking, he was swinging swords with the Pharisees and them, right? He's the light of the world in the temple that was rededicated a couple hundred years earlier, you understand? And letting his light shine. And that's what we supposed to be doing. Let your light shine, Zion. Don't never let the light go out. Ever. You understand? And who gonna be valiant in spirit like these brothers back in the day? That's my question. Who gonna be valiant, man? Who gonna stand up? Who gonna do something honorable? Who gonna do something honorable with their life, with this truth they got? I hear I hear everybody arguing on Facebook. Everybody arguing about what is this and what is that. Who gonna be valiant and stand up and do what's real out here, man? That's the question. All right, let me go ahead and drop this in the right here. Bing. I gotta guess there's so many Israelite groups on Facebook. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know which one to drop. I dropped in the Melchizedec group already. Awakening the Israelites. I was looking for the Hebrew exchange. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. And there's so many Israelite groups. Boy, Israel has really waking about their sleep, man. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there. All right, cool. Cool. All right, so let me get on this. Let me get on this chat for y'all. Before y'all start talking crazy, get on this chat real quick. Shout everybody out, and then let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Who all up in here? All right, Jasmine Renee, Shalom, Shalom, Chantel Prescott, Shalom, She Brew, Shalom, Shalom, Andrea Brown, Shalom, Tina D. Going on, She Brew. Everybody can hear, I see. Oh man, you ain't got Miss Petty in the building. Joy. What's going on, my sister? Shalom and blessings to you. Shalom and blessings to you. You remember in 2019, you can't be petty no more. Joy. Woody P. What up, Ak? Shalom. Shalom. Happy feast to everybody, man. Hebrew 73. Hebrew G 73. What up, Ak? Tuvaya. El is good. Hallelujah. 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 Melody Foster, my sister. What that Cali life like? She broke. Jeremiah Ben Israel Dash Cuz. Oh, that's Cuz. Yeah, that's Cuz. What up, Cuz? Shalom, he broke. TT Noy. What's going on? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Josh Collins, Shalom. Queen Kaya. What up, Denisha? Shalom. Poppy Shoe. You supposed to be here in St. Louis, ain't you? You supposed to be here in St. Louis, Poppy. Where you at? Where you at? Don't be tiptoeing through the tulips. Tutu, Janae Yasha Allah, Shalom, Shalom, Gilbert Patterson, Shalom. August Dreams. Peace and blessings to you too. I see y'all in the building, all praises. All right, all right. All right, y'all, we're gonna get it done, man. More exploits of Judah Maccabee. And if anybody get mad, I mean, whatever. For one, who cares who get mad? But if anybody get mad, then we shouldn't hear anything about a Memorial Day or honoring your troops or any of that. You see, there's only a problem when this Hebrew realizes who he is, who his God is, for one, right? Who he is in connection to that God, and once he starts, and then pays attention to his history and starts, you understand, recognizing and remembering the mighty acts that your forefathers did, like Moses, like Joshua, you understand, like David. You got men who names to this day ring bells. Demons, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because you can come in the same spirit and vibration of these brothers, man, and woof, major league bells down to our brother that we're gonna talk about today, Judah Maccabee, doing this dedication, this 8-day stretch that we got going on. All right, so I see y'all can hear. It look like we all good. And again, any type of, you know what I'm saying, accolades or whatever, I give all praise to the Most High. I'm just y'all brother. I go same problems all y'all go through, same exact ones. You feel me? I'm in the same battle, the same fight, all of it. So I'm just your brother. You understand? But I don't see myself doing anything else. If I wasn't doing this, I'm good as dead. I definitely ain't going back to the streets. Definitely ain't about to do nothing illegal. You understand? Definitely ain't about to get into no drug selling and gang banging and or trying to be a pimp out here or a player. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. If I wasn't doing this, you know what I'm saying? Or just mind so focused on sports or something, like, nah, I'm good. Or just mind so focused on your career path, and nah, I'm focused on the Most High. You understand? Whatever else I need to do to take care of everything around me that happens. So all glory and honor to him. All right. So we bang, man. We never let the light go out. Never let the light go out. And all I'm saying is never compromise. You feel me? No matter if it's your loved ones or, you know what I'm saying, maybe be some type of perceived learning man that claim he conscious. You feel me? But he has a spirit of compromise. That's something that we are not supposed to do. And as we check the examples, compromising it drains your devotion. It makes you so you're not as dedicated as you were. So if you're feeling like you're not as dedicated or devoted, the problem may be because you've been compromising in spirit. Compromising. You feel me? We belong to the Most High. You dig? When our people decided to make a covenant with them heathens, when they decided to do that, that was evil in the sight of the Most High. Why? Because we already under a covenant with him. All right. So we're gonna share. I'm gonna do a screen share. I'm gonna pull some of these scriptures up. You don't know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't got them, then it's all good. Y'all can just go ahead. Y'all can just go ahead and just follow along. This is what I want to show y'all first. Let me do the screen share. Y'all see the title. The title says dedicated to dedication. That's what the title says. Dedicated to dedication. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the definition of dedicate real quick. And let's see if we can get some understanding. I want to thank the Most High for allowing us to get together once again and bring out this word, man. Bring out this word. All right, application window. Link. We're going to hit share. We're going to hit share. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all can see that. Y'all should be able to see that. It's Merriam-Webster since 1828, dedicated. All right, dedicated. Definition of dedicated. Hence the title of the class, right? Dedicated means devoted to a cause. So dedication also means devoted. To be dedicated to something means you're devoted to it. Devoted to a cause, ideal, or purpose. Now trip off the word right there. That word right there says zealous. Pretty sure y'all can see that. Zealous. You feel me? And that's how we supposed to be. And our worship of almighty power, the owner, creator, and possessor of all things. Yod Hey Wah. Look at all the heathens coming out now talking about Yod Hey Wah is a formula for DNA. Yod Hey Wah, the vibration they give off, let off so many hertz, give off so many frequencies. You understand? And believe it or not, y'all, all this is lying dormant within us. So it's nothing wrong to be zealous in a righteous matter. There's nothing wrong with that. It's looked at as radical today, but so what? So what? So what? The world, that's one thing Israel got to get out of his mind. The world is not about to like you. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize what you woke up to, that you are the chosen people? So since you are a chosen people, a peculiar people, then even the mysteries of the unseen apply to you. That's why so many of our forefathers were doing miracles, because they understood who their power is. You understand? They understood who their power is and how closely connected they are to him or to that power. All right. Definition 2 of dedicated. It means given over to a particular purpose. Right? What's our purpose, man? What are we dedicated to? We dedicated to our power, our God. How do we show that dedication? By being obedient. By being obedient and be willing to lay our life down if need be for not only our God, but also our brothers and sisters. Yeah. So giving over to a particular purpose, dedicated. They got a dedicated web server. The fees would be put into a dedicated fund for rebates that go directly to the household's employee. Dedicated means given over to a particular purpose or devoted to a cause, devoted to something higher than yourself, man. You feel me? Today, everybody's an individual. Everybody's an individual today. Other words for dedicated. Dedicatedly, synonyms. Constant. Diligence. I was talking with a bro earlier today, being diligent or being constant. Feel me? That's one thing that you want to do when you get into this truth, is be constant with it, diligent or dedicated. I mean, you constantly do this. This is your life. This is not a part-time thing. You feel me? It's not a part-time thing you do. This is not even our hobby. This is our life, our purpose, right? Being an Israelite, you understand your special connection to Yod Hey Wah, the Most High. You understand this, all right? You understand your connection to him. And once you understand how closely connected you are to the creator of heaven and earth, then you commit yourselves. You devote yourself. You dedicate your mind, body, and spirit to serving that power. You understand? That's why belief is very powerful. Because people be dedicated to a false matter all the time. So synonyms for dedicated: constant, devoted, devout, down the line, faithful, fast, good, loyal. That's a word they ain't even used no more these days. Loyal. Loyal to the Most High. Dedicated to the Most High. Constantly doing this. Constantly talking about this kingdom. You feel me? That's how it's supposed to be. Pious, staunch, also stanch, steadfast, steady, steadfast, true. And then it says true blue. I heard that. Now, antonym is something that's opposite of what it is. Don't trip off what an antonym is. Dedicated. I mean, opposite of what we just read. Disloyal. Not loyal, but disloyal. You don't want to be disloyal to the Most High. That's why the Messiah says in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, if you lukewarm, I'm spitting you out my mouth. Because you're not loyal. You're not faithful. You understand? To you, this is just a hobby. I get around to it when I feel like it. You understand? instead of dedicating your entire purpose, your entire existence to the servant of the creator of heaven and earth and waking up his people. You see? And it's a lot of brothers and sisters out here, man. A lot of brothers, man, that catch a lot of unnecessary hell. It's part of the work, though. You understand? But man, when you're dealing with somebody that has dedicated their entire life to serving the Most High, you feel me? Like, you shouldn't be so quick to run your mouth about that person, regardless if it's a few shortcomings or a few things you don't like about them or whatever. You need to think twice about that. This person is dedicated. He ain't disloyal, right? He's constantly doing his thing. All right, so Anthony is disloyal, faithless, woof, false, fickle, inconstant. He ain't constant, man. He ain't ready. He like old boy on 300 that rolled up like, Father, 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 did I miss the battle? The old dude looked up and said, boy, you missed the war. He was inconstant. He was inconstant. You see, he wasn't nobody you can depend on. See, you're supposed to be diligent in this thing, devoted in this, dedicated. This is what it is. It shouldn't be like somebody know you, and then I run into them, or one of the brothers run into them, and they break them off about the truth. You dig? And they like, man, dang, that's real talk, man. That's what's up. Then they run back and tell you, and you like, oh yeah, man, I've been known that. What you mean you been known that? How this man hang around you all these years and don't know nothing about the Most High, nothing about he an Israelite, nothing about keeping the commandments, nothing about he ain't supposed to be eating pork, nothing. You know why? Because this person you dealing with is inconstant, and that's a problem in Israel. Brothers think they can just get on Facebook. Facebook provides a platform for a lot of wayward brethren, or a lot of lukewarm, you understand, to where you couldn't get that off. Like, if you really had to do this work, like, would you still be out here name ringing bells or banging his truth? You understand? Doing the works of a Mashiach had it not been to social media. You dig? Social media makes an easy platform for half-timerites. I'm gonna call them half-time or part-timerites. You know, somebody that does this part-time as a hobby, you know, oh, that's what I do too. I'm also an Israelite. You dig? A lot of inconstant people, but got the nerve to twist their mouths up as if they, you understand, all of a sudden experts in spiritual warfare, experts in what's going on, man. Facebook is toxic. Social media is toxic. Keep all y'all business off there. Everybody sneak dissing and throwing subliminal. Keep all y'all business off Facebook, man. All right, perfidious, recreant, traitorous. So if you not dedicated to the Most High, you understand, the opposite of that is being a traitor, not being loyal, being a traitor, huh? Treacherous, unfaithful, and untrue. I ask yourself, is there any one of us? All right. Now we know dedicated, man, being devoted, right? Constant, faithful, loyal. Opposite of that being disloyal, right? Not constant. Traitorous. Wow. 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 So the name of the class is dedicated to dedication, doing the feast of dedication. We're going to go over more acts of Judah Maccabee. All right. So all praise and glory now to the Most High. All right, bang. Next, we're going to y'all John, the 8th chapter. John chapter 8. We're going to read 12 through 20. John chapter 8, 12 through 20. All right, y'all bang, man. Bang to make sure what? The light never goes out. I like that out the mud. Watchman Shalom. Hobby lights. Part-timer lights. Half-timer lights. All right. Just say we live in the abyss of damnation right now. Whew. It is what it is. Beat Yah. Shalom, my sister. Shalom, Dirk Lee. Shalom. All right, what it do? All right, y'all. We in John chapter 8. John chapter 8, the words of the Messiah. All right. And being that this feast of dedication is also called the Feast of Lights. Another way to say that. So, you know, bang to keep the light on, man. It's too easy. See, it's easy to go along with the world, to go along, to get along. That's easy. That's beyond easy, right? It's hard to do something honorable, right? Something that sets you apart, right? Something that's a challenge. It's a challenge to be righteous in this wicked setup right now. But I like the challenge. What you mean? don't like it when everything all easy and just, you know, it makes you comfortable and complacent. And if it's like that, you can't grow. Everybody know that you can't grow being comfortable and complacent and just, you know, just a fair weather Israelite, you know, hands in your pocket. He ain't got his hands on a plow, hands in his pocket, rocking back and forth on the balls of his feet to his heels. You know, he ain't making no noise. He just hurt. Nah, man, challenge yourself to be righteous, right? And if you want any more work, pray to the Most High to give you more work, right? To give you more faith, right? So you can get out here. Because man, I'm gonna tell you, it's never a dull moment. Like it's always something cracking, always. And I love it, right? Through the ups and the downs, man. Through the ups and the downs. I ain't gonna lie to you, I love it. You feel me? So right here, John chapter 8. John chapter 8. We're gonna read 12 through 20. John chapter 8, 12 through 20. All right. Y'all give me a 7 when y'all get there. You ain't gonna get her done. All right, John chapter 8. Messiah tell you who he is, right? Bang. All right, John chapter 8, verse 12 through 20. And this is something that was going on while he was in the temple. A lot of his discourses, a lot of his debates, a lot of his run-ins with the so-called Pharisees and all them, a lot of that was in the temple, actually. All right, a lot of that was in the temple, believe it or not. So, all right, let's get into it. John chapter 8. John chapter 8, verses 12 through 20. John chapter 8, 12 through 20. Allah, Lord, Yah. All right. Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. That's a major league statement right there. Tell the religious leaders of your day. And trip off this too, y'all. I'm tripping off this earlier. Messiah, man, for like most of us, me, myself, I'm 36. Right? The Messiah died at the age of 33. He started his ministry at the age of 30. So had he been living on the earth, he'd actually been someone, I mean, today he'd been someone younger than myself. He's a young man, right? You know, you can't get so caught up in age and be like, you know, well, you know, he's younger than me. The Messiah, if he was living today and started his ministry, and you would have claimed you would have been one of his disciples, most of us would have been actually older than him. He's still our master, feel me? Our Lord, our King. He's younger than us. So this backward Babylonian westernized mindset of somebody younger than you can't tell you, and get that out your mind, man. Because had he been living today, a lot of us who are over the age of 33 would have been bowing down and obeying and following someone younger than us. Cold hard facts. All right. So he's telling the Pharisees in the temple, I am the light of the world. The light you read about in Genesis, that's me. Woof. 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 That's serious. That's a serious statement to make in front of a whole bunch of zealous religious leaders. You understand? A whole bunch of zealous religious leaders, and everybody think they know something. You feel me? I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, shall have the light of life. So if we gonna follow the teachings of a Mashiach, you feel me? Then guess what? We have to maintain that light. We got to maintain that light. Shout out to my Aki. He always talking about that light beams. And a lot of you mumble mouth Negroes get nervous. Oh, that sounds esoteric. We ain't doing nothing but telling y'all what the Messiah already told you. You feel me? Like you're greater than what you even know. You're closer to the Most High than you know it. The problem is a lack of faith. You just don't believe. You so accustomed to doubting, you feel me? Anything that has anything to do with showing you how powerful you are, you blow it off. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Maybe you'll never do wonderful works in that maybe spirit. You are maybe a light. Maybe it might work. You a might a light. Right? You ain't following the Messiah for real because you don't believe. You don't believe. All right. So we say, but shall have a light of life. All right. Verse 13. The Pharisees therefore said, and all them Pharisees older than him, man. These is the elders of his day. All right. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, thou bearest record of thyself. Thy record is not true. Yahushua answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true. For I know whence I came. He said, I know where I'm from. See, the Messiah knew his special connection to his Father, right? For I know whence I came and whither or where I'm going. I know where I'm from and where I'm going. He's just letting it be known I'm from above. You understand? You from beneath. I'm from the right hand of the Most High. That's what the Messiah is letting it be known. A lot of times what he spoke went over their head because these men were cornered. He couldn't catch it. All right? So be careful, man. When you hear certain things, you be like, oh, that's esoteric. That's, man, the Messiah was saying so much stuff that went over the Pharisees and them head. They were accusing him of blasphemy and were bearing false witness like a mug. All right? 15, ye judge after the flesh. Yeah, you judge based off what your carnal eyes are seeing. A lot of our people do that today, man. It's sickening, actually. You know what I'm saying? They see something and be like, oh, I knew it. Yep, that's demonic. And you don't even know, like, what's really going on. All right? Ye judge after the flesh. I judge no man. And yet, if I judge, my judgment is true. For I am not alone, but I am the Father that sent me. Like, if I judge, my judgment is true. Look, I'm not alone. The Father that sent me is me and him, or it's him and I. All right. It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. So he's not out of order in his judgment. There's two witnesses, Father and himself. Then said they unto him, where is thy Father? Yahushua, Yod He Washin Ayan, Yahushua. That's how you spell his name. Answer, ye neither know me nor my Father. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. These words spake Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple, and no man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. Now see that he in the temple. This whole history of the dedication got to do with us rededicating the altar and cleansing the temple. And notice what he said, I am the light. You follow me, you won't walk in darkness. We got the light of life. See, major league statement right there. And that's what I'm here to let my brothers and sisters know. Like, look, man, bang to keep that light on. Right? You catch yourself bobbing to chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Blah, 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 blah. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Man, look, if you find yourself bobbing to that, wake the hell up. Wake up. You understand? That ain't nothing but what's called subliminal seduction, right? The music around this time is real subtle. It's real seductive. The spirit depression is at an all-time high during this hour. Suicide as well. This is the dark time of the year. And during the dark time of the year, we supposed to be a beacon of light, man. Right? Give our people some type of hope. And that's just what it is, man. Akti, Shalom, Ak, this is my Ak from Memphis. David Anthony, what up, Fat Dave? We still call you Fat Dave. Boy, I done called you Fat Dave since I was 12. You dig? You ain't even fat no more. But the name stuck with your Hebrew. Shalom. Happy feast of dedication to the family. Happy feast of dedication. Aki Malek. Shalom, Hebrew. Shalom. Ak. Really wake up. Your chestnuts will be roasting on an open. You hear me? Yeah, you ain't trying to go to that lake of fire, is you? Man. Our people, man. Mina J. There go my Shebrew. Shalom, my beloved sister. What's going on? Kendra B. Shalom. Queen. What's going on, Queen? All right, right here. John 10, 22 through 42 next. Is up on the screen, y'all. All right, John 10, 22 through 42. Messiah's back in the temple. And just for any of our people that may be listening that have in their mind, like, well, Jesus didn't do the dedication, Hanukkah. Well, dedication, when you hear Hanukkah, Hanukkah's Kanukkah, which means dedicated, consecrated. So when you hear Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, a lot of our people don't understand that's your history. It ain't got nothing to do with these heathens. It ain't got nothing to do with Steven Spielberg. Well, scratch that. Let me take that back. It got something to do with them too, because their forefathers were the Greeks. They came in and attempted to Hellenize the Hebrews. And oh boy, did we bang. Oh boy, did we bang, boy. You understand? To the point where you can say Happy Hanukkah and the Feast of the Dedication. Why is Yahushua in the temple in Jerusalem? Because these events that we are remembering happened probably like 200 years before he was born, 168 years before he was born, something like that, roughly between there. The distance between you and Harriet Tubman. Difference between us and Frederick Douglass. That's how close in history the dedication, the events of dedication was to Yahushua when he was on the scene. These events happened before he was born. All right. John 10, 22 through 42. Kwashin Shalom, boxingologist. That boy throw them hands. I don't even know what a chestnut is. All right. Shalom, Zafani, Habak, Israel. John 10, 22 through 42. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. So at Jerusalem, it was Hanukkah, Hanukkah, all right, which is a Hebrew word which simply means to dedicate and consecrate. And it was winter, so now you know we're in the right season. I have people that live in we have people that live in Israel. There's actually brothers and sisters I talk to on a regular that live in Israel. And yes, it gets cold during the wintertime. So now we know during the winter, you understand? During the winter, the feast for the Israelites is the dedication or Hanukkah. All right. Read again. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter. And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch, a certain part of the temple. You understand? He's not in the sanctuary. They're outside the sanctuary, outside the courtyard, but there's a spot in the temple once you enter in to where you understand Yahushua, the Pharisees and all them, a lot of them came there. They used to teach. This was one of the spots he was teaching in. Right? It's in the temple, but it's not in the sanctuary. It's not in the Holy of Holies. You understand? It's not even in the courtyard where the altar of burnt offering is at, where you will burn flesh for the remission of your sins and all that's outside of that. But it's still considered in the temple mount and all that, right? So Solomon's porch was a certain part on the temple mount or in the temple where the rabbis or the teachers would meet up from different schools of thought. You feel me? And their disciples or their students. And they would teach. Now, every once in a while, you understand, Pharisees and them would challenge. Teachers would challenge other teachers. See, it's almost like the movie Ip Man. If you ever seen Ip Man, it's almost like that. You feel me? Where all the master teachers had to meet up. You feel me? Or their disciples would start fighting and all. The master got to come up and show up, and then Ip Man had to show that he was worthy as a master teacher to even teach Wing Chun or something like that, but on a spiritual level. All right. On different schools of thought, the Messiah had his disciples or his students, and he was the master teacher. All right. And Yahushua walked in the temple on Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews, Yahudim, these are Pharisees, around about him, and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be a Mashiach, if thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Yahushua answered them, I told you and you believe not. I told you and you believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. So speaking of eternal life, or what's called the resurrection, you won't be a victim of the second death, which is the lake of fire. The Most High owns something called a lake of fire. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. It makes them uncomfortable, but it's the truth. And it's prepared for the adversary or the accuser of our brethren and anybody following. All right. But then when he talk about shall not perish, yeah, in this flesh that we have now, yes, we're going to die. You understand? But if you were faithful and righteous, you got what's coming called a resurrection of life, not damnation, in which you'll live forever, right? In the kingdom of the Most High on this earth. Yeah, a kingdom full of supermen. Oh, man. All right, right here. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. So the Messiah never came to usurp his Father or remove his Father for you so-called Christians that believe that he came or he is his Father. He's not his own Father. What is wrong with y'all, man? It's clear he's talking about his God, his Father that is above him, right? And he said, my Father is greater than all, right? That includes himself, all right? Verse 30, I and my Father are one. See, there it is right there. He is the Father. The one means one accord or agreement. If you read John 17, his prayer in John 17, verses 15 through 22, you'll see, may they be one as we are one. May the believers be one as the Father and the Son are one. So, like, each believer ain't the same person, but we can be one, meaning on one accord. All right, it's time to step our scriptural study level up, man. You shouldn't be in 2019 claiming that Yahushua is Yahweh. Stop that, man. Stop that. There's too many scriptures to prove that, to disprove that, right? That you're going to have to deal with. Like, say you arrive at that understanding in your mind, you're going to have to deal with the fact that there's scriptures of the Messiah saying, my Father is greater than me, right? And I was sent by him, and I can't be greater than him because he sent me. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth, all right? 31, then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Yahushua answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which of those works do you stone me? The Yahudim answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God. Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law? I said, ye are gods. Woof, woof. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. He said, look, he called them God to whom the word of God came. Isn't not written in your law, I said, ye are gods, right? So it shouldn't be no problem when you start hearing brothers like inspiring you to be greater or go far and beyond what it is that you used to, right? It shouldn't be no mystery why brothers in these late hours, everybody talking about operating the fruits of the spirit, vibrate high. You understand? Saying in the one song, salute the soldiers around me as either God, king, or priest. Not that they my God or that they the most high or the Messiah. You understand? But we all out of God's family. You with God now. Right? And he said, if he called them gods unto whom the word of God came, the scripture cannot be broken. Say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemest, because I said, I am the Son of Yah. Woo! Woo! If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though ye believe not me, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me, and I in him. Therefore they sought again to take him. He escaped out of their hand. And that's why we want to let a lot of my brothers know too, man. We be dropping these jewels on my brothers and sisters, inspiring them to vibrate high. You understand? Operate and regulate like the God you are, the king you are, the priest you are. You feel me? You're going to catch a lot of backlash behind it. A lot of people are not prepared to receive that. And a lot of our people are superstitious. You feel me? Based off the words of somebody else, not because they've done their own research, but based off the words of someone else. They become superstitious. You understand? You start talking these things that are unseen or that are out of this world. Usually when you tell a Negro this is used to gang banging and selling food stamps, they look, bro, you part of God's family. I said ye are gods. You feel me? That right there could change his whole vibration, his whole mindset. That right there could make this man, you understand? If he take that, what you just told him, and it plants deep within him, and the Most High give him an increase, ooh-wee. You have our brother around her vibrating in the spirit of righteousness, then around her vibrating low, still gangbanging. Come on, man. Come on, man. But he escaped out of their hand and went away again beyond Jordan to the place where John had first baptized, and there he abode. And many resorted unto him and said, John did no miracle, but all things that John spake of this man were true, and many believed on him there. Psalm 55 is where we going next, y'all. Psalm 55, 15 through 23. Psalm 55, 15 through 23, before we get into some more of these exploits. Judah Maccabee. Dedicated to dedication. Dedicated to dedication. Shalom, my sister Alicia Edwards. The Most High increase the house of Yada Elyon. Yeah, tell your king I said shalom, my sister. Shalom, shalom. All praises. Happy feast of dedication to all my brothers and sisters, man. And we gonna bang to make sure this light stay on. We gonna bang to make sure this light stay on. Period. End of story. A lot of people don't like it, but so what? That is not our problem, what you don't like. All right. All right, right here. Psalm 55, verse 15 through 23. Psalm 55, verse 15 through 23. Let death seize upon them. This is David. This is David. You feel me? Petitioning Yod-Heh-Wahe to fight his battle for him, fight his war for him. I let death seize upon them. Let them go down quick into hell. For wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon Yod-Heh-Wahe, and the Most High shall save me. See, know for a certainty that the Most High is with you. Never doubt. Never doubt. As long as you being obedient, you got the force of heaven and earth backing you. Never doubt it. Right? That's a tool of the enemy. So you won't be out here moving and regulating like you a son of Elohim. All right? Right? He say, as for me, I will call upon the Most High, and Yod-Heh-Wahe shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. See, David know for a certainty the Most High heard him. You should know the same. You should know the same. When you praying to him, know with 1,000,000% certainty he hears you. Don't doubt it. Know it. All right. 18. He have delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. For there were many with me. For there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. And it was the same with Judah Maccabee. Judah Maccabee understood the Most High is with him. He have delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. For there were many with me, with many banging against me. You see? So even if it feel like it's just you against the whole entire world, man, look, they better bring more caskets. You understand? Because if the Most High is with you, nothing and no one can stand against you. Believe that. Nothing and no one can stand against you. Period. All right. It says right here, 20. He have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant, going into the psyche and mindset of this heathen. You understand? We did everything you heathens and asked us to do, and we're still hunted. We done fought in your wars, went to your schools, served in your religion, took on your women. You understand? Took on your ways, your holidays, ate your food. We done did everything you asked us to do, and we're still hated. Why is that? Right? And so he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So when you hear chestnuts roasting, his words may be softer than oil, but the whole purpose is to get at you, to destroy this warrior understanding, this righteous warrior zeal that we're supposed to have for the Most High. To kill that. And if you kill that vibration, then guess what? Greek oppression and the Greek way of life is running on automatic now, because no one will stand up and bang against it. You just get seduced by it. You understand? They call you a Scrooge. You're being a Scrooge. If that's what you want to call me. But yes, I'm anti-Christmas spirit. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. 22. I promised us. Cast thy burden upon Yod-Heh-Wahe, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. For thou, O Yah, shall bring them down to the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men, bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You understand? Bloody and deceitful men going down, man. This heathen going down. I bet I had heard not one of you Negroes crying over George W. Bush or H.W. Bush. I know how much hell that devil poured into the so-called Israelite community, the black so-called black community, should I say? How much hell that heathen did that? That heathen was a drug lord. Negroes over here crying over George H.W. Bush. That man was a sworn enemy of us. Psalm 82, verse 3 through 4. Psalm 82, verse 3 through 4. Defend the poor and fatherless. No, the script say defend them. Defend. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Y'all hear that? You hear that? Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Judah Maccabee, that's what he did. You understand? Judah Maccabee, that's what he did. And what he did, he delivered his people out of the hands of these heathens. That we ought to remember. Why? Because Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh was with him, man. What you mean, why? The Most High owner, creator, and possessor of all things was with our forefather, Judah Maccabee. And he will be with us. Understand? Next scripture, Job 29, 13 through 17. Job 29. Job 29, 13 through 17. The Most High bless you, my Ak Dave, my Ak Dawood. Most High bless you, increase you, and cause his face to shine upon you. Thank all y'all for y'all prayers and support. All right. And once again, I want to thank all the coordinators and organizers of this feast we have this evening here in the STL. Feel me? And there's so many of them, so many of my brothers and their wives and all that. You dig? But it's a lot of work that go on behind the scene, and a lot of times it goes unnoticed, right? So I want to salute all the brothers and sisters to put their hands to the plow here in the STL, man, to bring forth and to make sure that we have a feast of dedication. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out all the out-of-town guests that's coming in as well, man. You understand? It's all good. We all family. We all family. All right? 13 through 17. The scriptures say, defend the poor and fatherless, man. Do justice. Rid your people out the hand of the wicked, right? At the mouth of the wicked. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Ridding our people out of the mouth of the wicked. And that's what we do when we go out and we tell our people to repent. Stop doing that. You want to see this heathen fall, stop doing what he's doing. You're mimicking him. You're under the same vibration as him, so his whole thing is running on automatic. Who gonna be valiant and stand up and say, on the bus stop here, we ain't doing none of that. Wait, I know you don't want to be labeled a radical. I know. That's right. Y'all over here crying over a skull and bonesman. Good point, Mina J. A skull and bonesman. Straight heathens, man. Yeah, that heathen had the skull of Geronimo, one of the native Indians that was standing up fighting against these heathens. George H.W. Bush had his skull when dug the man grave up and took his skull. Yeah, man. All right. Job 29, 13 through 17. The blessing of him that was came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. You see that? Job was a man that looked out for the widows, that looked out for him that was ready to perish. In other words, he loved his people, man. And look, again, it's a spirit of hate sweeping Israel too, y'all. Look, let that go. You're not to be hating your brothers and sisters. Even if there are some type of differences going on, you don't hate them. You get together and you discuss these things and swing swords and all that, but you don't leave no sit down with your people hating them. Right? Like revolutionaries, man. They hated the heathens that were coming against us, but they loved their people. You see, we got it backwards today. All right. The blessing of him was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the witness for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment, his judgment was as a robe and a diadem. His judgment was as him putting his garments on and his crown on. They put righteousness on and they clothed him. So there ain't no. So he's talking spiritual, because you can't go get a righteous robe to put on. You understand? But he's just letting it be known he operated and moved under the word of the Most High. And that's the thing. A lot of us are bringing judgments out, and it's all based off our own feelings and interpretation. It ain't based off what thus saith the Most High. You just rush to judgment. All right, 15. I was eyes to the blind and feet was I to the lame. Right? He didn't make fun of the blind. He didn't make fun of the cripple. He was there for them. All right. I was a father to the poor, and the cause which I knew not, I searched out, and I break the jaws of the wicked. Y'all hear that? And I break the jaws of the wicked and pluck the spoil out of his teeth. It's the same thing we just read in Psalm 82. Huh? Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Job said, I broke the jaws of the wicked. Huh? And pluck the spoil out of his teeth. That's righteous. It was a righteous thing for you to stand up. It's a righteous thing for you to stand up. You understand? In a righteous manner, to be zealous in a righteous manner, and to defend your people, man. Stand up and fight for your God. Right? And in this hour, all I'm saying is we need to be more valiant in spirit, you understand, than they was in the flesh. Nobody telling y'all go out here and catch no case and start the war. Mally say start the war tonight. I ain't said none of that. I'm letting y'all know in the spirit. Be valiant in the spirit like these brothers was in the flesh. And I'm gonna let y'all know that soon, believe it or not, sooner than later, that this spiritual war will turn physical. And you're gonna have to protect your family and defend your family and your loved ones. You understand? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Spiritual war becomes physical as well. Right? A lot of these comfortable lights, these comfortable Hebrews don't want to tell y'all that. Got you thinking you just gonna wake up and just be sacrificed and martyred for the Most High. No, these wars. Check out when Rome sacked or invaded Jerusalem. Check that out. That was a 7-year war. That wasn't nothing that started today and was over tomorrow. A lot of these elders are sleeping, y'all, man. Got y'all thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just gonna refuse the mark of the beast and get my head cut off. Look, easier said than done. And again, if you ain't moving out the way, how are you prepping? Are you preparing for this war that's coming? What are you gonna do? Oh, you think you're just gonna sit at home on the internet till they knock on your door? Stop it, man. Stop it. This heathen understand really what this thing is really about. You understand? Really, he done studied you. He done studied your mind. He know what you eat. He know your likes, your dislikes, your habits, and all of it. And you think you're just gonna be able to say, "No, I ain't taking the mark of the beast. I walk up them 13 steps." I hear you. I hear you talking. It sound good, huh? But all I'm saying is spiritual war becomes physical. You did. Judah Maccabee and them had to go regroup. They had to go, you know what I'm saying? They had to go into the wilderness. They had to go flee and gather the troops before they had to come and go to war. See, you got to prepare, man. Joseph prepared when Pharaoh had that dream about famine that was coming. Noah prepared when the Most High told him that a flood was coming. Right? How are you preparing? Is the thing. You understand? America will be on lockdown, New World Order. Surely the whole entire world will be. But are you preparing? Are you prepared spiritually first? And then physically. You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done when you like, oh, okay, you did. Yeah, it's just me. But when you got family, short legs, and all that, you gotta be ready to rock. You gotta be ready to rock in the drop of a dime, man. You did. So let's get into this because these heathens right here studied you. First Maccabees chapter 5 is where we going. Now, the dedication didn't happen. They didn't rededicate the altar. They didn't cleanse the temple and all that, right? Now, once the story don't stop there, though. Story don't stop there, though. A lot of us read Maccabees and never keep reading. The story does not stop there, all right? It does not stop there. TT Irv, Shamana Tez, and Boo Chop Shop. Shalom, my sister. We gonna get this. Y'all willing? If you down with it, next Friday, I wanna start the barbershop chop shops back up. I know y'all just moved the shop. All right, I know y'all just moved the shop. I'm gonna come on down there and let the nation, you know what I'm saying, see the change of atmosphere and all that. Well, that's cool. Let me know, sis. Go ahead and text me. All praises to the Most High, owner, creator, and possessor of all things. All right, this right here. First Maccabees chapter 5. Now, when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, they heard that we built the altar. In other words, they heard that we were keeping Hanukkah. And then we had just dedicated everything to the Most High. Trip off this. Trip off the mindset of the nations that understand you have come back close to your God. Trip off their mindset. And when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Why it displease you when the children of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh start being obedient? Why? Why would it displease Gentiles? Because they understand that that's where the power is at, right? They tell you in the book of Judith that the Gentiles that had studied us, the one Gentile who was an Ammonite told the king, like, look, man, if they've been obedient to their God, ain't nothing you can do to them. You feel me? You're going to be fighting against the Almighty if you come against them. You feel me? That's why it displeases them, because they can't oppress us anymore. All right? They understand that the Most High loved his people, and guess what? He's going to remember his covenant. And these people right here are going to be the most powerful, you understand, the most spiritual, the most righteous people this earth has ever seen. Right? And that scares heathens, because they're going to have to get up under the order or get put down. All right, so it displeased them very much. Verse 2. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Yaakov that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. All because they realized we dedicated our temple, which is on a spiritual level, our bodies and our minds, back to the Most High. That scares heathens. That scares them. They not ready for that. All right. A lot of our people ain't ready for it. It sounds too radical. It sounds too taboo. But when a so-called leatherneck Marine walk through the mall, you get a stiff back, you click your heels, you start talking, sir, yes, sir, I'll salute. No, what's wrong with your history? We got warriors in our history that we ought to be remembering. All right. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau and Idumea at Arba time, because they besieged Gael, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. Also, he remembered the injury of the children of Ben, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. And Judah Maccabee wasn't no joke, man. Judah Maccabee was no joke, period. All right, verse 6. Afterward, he passed over to the children of Ammon, where he found a mighty power, and much people with Timotheus their captain. So he fought many battles with them, till at length they were discomfited before him, and he smote them. And when he had taken Jazer with the towns belonging thereto, he returned to Judea. This was a brother that loved his people, man. And based off the request of his father on his deathbed told him, y'all better die banging for this truth. And do not fear the words of a sinner. His glory gonna be worms. And what happened to Antiochus Epiphanes? Worms start crawling out of his flesh. He stank so bad you smelled him from yesterday. All right, verse 9. Then the heathen that were at Galaad assembled themselves together against the Israelites that were in their quarters to destroy them. But they fled to the fortress of Dathema and sent letters unto Judas and his brethren. The heathen that are round about us are assembled together against us to destroy us. They are preparing to come and take the fortress whereunto we are fled. Timothy is being captain of their hosts. Come now, therefore, and deliver us from their hands, for many of us are slain. Wow. Yea, all our brethren that were in the places of Toby are put to death, their wives and their children also. They have carried away captives and borne away their stuff, and they have destroyed there about 1,000 men. Trip up there, and that's one thing I want to let the sisters know too. Y'all not exempt in this thing, man. Right? Y'all not exempt. Right? If the hit is on Israel, that's on the men, women, and children. So y'all see now more than ever, because these same times are back around. We need to be what? Separated from one another? Not dealing with one another, or should we be moving toward each other? Because we do have a common enemy, despite our different schools of thought, and you may believe certain things, certain aspects of the scripture differently than the next brother. We need to be working on moving toward each other. Right? Because you playing right into the enemy's hand, being divided. And even the Most High saying, Zephaniah 2, gather yourselves together. That's a commandment. Ye nation not desire before the wrath of the Most High is poured out. You out here silly, out here camp banging and congregation banging. You understand? Why y'all think we do the War Ready Wednesdays? And y'all willing, we back on next Wednesday. But why y'all think we do that, man? Right? That's so the brothers could at least start moving toward each other. And the first step of that is, hey, y'all need to open up this Bible and discuss a few things. You dig? And you never know, man. You may need that brother or sister later on down the line. Brothers are resourceful out there. You understand? But separating scatters, you playing right into the enemy's hand. Like you'll never win any type of revolution being scattered and separate. It won't happen. All right, it just won't happen. All right. 13. Yea, all our brethren that were in the places. Okay, I read 13. Verse 14. While these letters were yet reading, behold, there came other messengers from Galilee with their clothes rent. He reported on this wise and said, they of Ptolemais and of Tyrus and Zidon and all of Galilee of the Gentiles are assembled together against us to consume us. Now, when Judas and the people heard these words, there assembled a great congregation together to consult what they should do for their brethren that were in trouble and assaulted them. So instead of taking out an iPhone or an Android, you understand, and recording what it is, they like, no, we need to go ahead and call us a council. What we gonna do? Our people are being slain. What are we gonna do? All right. Verse 17. Then said Judas unto Simon his brother, choose ye out men and go and deliver thy brethren that are in Galilee. I and Jonathan, my brother, will go into the country of Goliad. So they were fighting wars on multiple fronts. That's how you know it. Y'all, us being scattered in this hour is silly. And I don't care if it's the word of somebody you perceive as great. Got you thinking else. If it's not in the scripture, though, the scripture tell you what it is. Gather yourselves together. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 52, 7 through 9 to tell you we'll see eye to eye in that day. But that don't mean we ain't supposed to be gathering together. The first step of that is what? Open up them scriptures. Brothers ain't your enemies. Yeah, doctrine may be a little thwarted and off, but yeah, how else you gonna know unless y'all rock? You understand? And when you done talking, this heathen, when he come for the Israelites, he's not about to be like breaking us up in groups like, oh, you believe in reincarnation, you believe in resurrection, you believe in the virgin birth, you believe in Joseph, you believe in this, all y'all a problem because all of us talk about a kingdom that's coming that's gonna put down this kingdom. That makes you what? A problem to the powers that be. Because you speak of something greater and mightier that will last forever, that will supplant this one. That makes you a terrorist. Believe it or not. All right, verse 18. So he left Joseph, the son of Zacharias, and Azarias, captains of the people, with the remnant of the host in Judea to keep it. Unto whom he gave commandments, saying, take ye the charge of this people, and see that ye make not war against the heathen until the time that we come again. So he just told them, go ahead and take the charge. All right, got a captain of the people, take the charge. Don't make war with the heathen until we show back up. We need to be here. All right, but you are in charge. All right. 20. Now to Simon were given 3,000 men to go into Galilee, and unto Judas 8,000 men for the country of Goliad. Now you see, these brothers had to be not only strategic, but they had to have ingenuity skills. I mean, they had to know how to run. They had to know how to run and organize situations. They had to know how to lead situations. You had all these men following you, waiting on your command. Right? So these were not cavemen. These were not like men that, you understand, it just so happenstance to be. These were men that were well coordinated. You understand? Well coordinated, knew exactly what they were doing, and the men that were following them were in order. Right? You couldn't say then, oh, I don't following Judas. He's a man like me. I ain't following him. But look, this is who the Most High put in charge. You better follow. That's the thing. We got to get about this mindset like we don't follow nobody. Whoever the Most High got in charge is what it is. All right, 21. Then went Simon into Galilee, where he fought many battles with the heathen, so that the heathen were discomfited by him. Now Simon is Judah Maccabee, his brother. Remember, Mattathias had like 5 sons, I believe. Simon was one of them. Jonathan was one. Judas was one. You understand? So, you know, it wasn't just him by himself. His brothers was banging because their father told them on his deathbed, y'all better die banging for this. Y'all better die banging for this, man. Right? If y'all don't stand up, who gonna stand up? 22. And he pursued them unto the gate of Ptolemais. And there was slain of the heathen about 3,000 men whose spoils he took. We got this all in our history, y'all. And that these heathens salute a Chris Kyle, who's supposed to be the American sniper. Why we can't remember and salute our forefathers that was laying down thousands of their forefathers at a time. This is what the heathens feared. 23. And those that were in Galilee and in Arabatus with their wives and their children, and all that they had, took he away with him and brought them into Judea with great joy. Judas Maccabee is also, and his brother Yo Nathan. Shout out to Yo Nathan, y'all Kelly. Yo Nathan went over Jordan and traveled 3 days' journey in the wilderness. 3 days' journey in the wilderness, where they met with the Nabathites, came unto them in a peaceable manner, and told them everything that had happened to their brethren in the land of Gilead, and how that many of them were shut up in Basra and Bosor and Elima, Casphor, Maked, and Kornaim. All these cities were strong and great, and that they were shut up in the rest of the cities of the country of Gilead, and that against tomorrow they had appointed to bring their host against the forts and to take them and to destroy them all in one day. Whereupon Judas and his host turned suddenly by the way of the wilderness unto Basora. And when he had won the city, he slew all the males with the edge of the sword and took all their spoils and burned the city with fire. 29. But once he removed by night and went till he came to the fortress, and betimes in the morning they looked up, and behold, there was an innumerable people bearing ladders and other engines of war to take the fortress, but they assaulted them. Judas therefore saw that the battle was begun, and that the cry of the city went up to heaven with trumpets and a great sound. He said unto his hosts, fight this day for your brethren. You hear that? Fight this day for your brethren. This is a brother that loved his people. He wasn't mocking his people. No, he loved his people. Understand? He said unto his hosts, fight this day for your brethren. 34th. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right, so he went forth behind them in three companies, who sounded their trumpets and cried with prayer. Then the host of Timotheus, knowing that it was Maccabees. Hold on, y'all. All right. These loads. What's going on with this? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Bang, bang, bang. Going on my tab. Devil is a liar. Y'all don't talk about this deal not responding. Hold on 1 second. What the hell's going on? Hold on, y'all. What the hell? Man, that's messed up. All right, we should be good. We should be good. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Back up. Back up. Back up. 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all. My bad. I had to handle some business real quick. My bad. My bad. I had to handle some business real quick. I know how it is. Juggling short leggers and all that. All right, man. I'm back. If y'all can hear me, no, I ain't take no potty break. I'm over warming this bottle up for this young prince. All right, if y'all got sound, let me. If I can be heard, go ahead and put a 9 up in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what happened at first. Like the screen just went white. Screen just went white, man. I don't know what was going on. Bang, 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 bang. That's right. The devil is like, okay, y'all can hear it. Shaul Yisrael, Shalom, what it do? All right. Yeah, y'all, we got to fight to make sure this light never goes out. If y'all don't hear a sound, it's because I muted the situation to, you know what I'm saying, take care of some of these Yeladium, these Yeladim, these children. That's it. Bing, 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 bing. All right, last part we was on is verse 33, and it's about the trumpets and all that. So y'all give me like 2 more minutes. Send something to the screen. Every time I send something, the screen glitches. Hey man, y'all know we ain't control. We don't control these airwaves. All right, y'all cool. Y'all can hear it. All right, give me 1 more second. Let me go ahead. I got my daughter feeding my son back here and all that. Boy, them short leggers are something else. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Y'all forgive y'all brother. A little brief moment, real quick. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, this is what it is. We in First Mac, chapter 5, and verse, I believe it's 33. So he went forth. I'm gonna read 32 again. And this is what Judas said to the soldiers that was with him. He said unto his host, fight this day for your brethren. 33. So he went forth behind them in 3 companies who sounded their trumpets and cried with prayer. That's important. We've been going over that the past few videos. Your prayers are weapons. All right, it's a tool that the Most High gave you to petition His throne to ask Him anything that you want to bring forth. The prayer must be sent up in full faith. And as we get into some more of these stories later on in Second Mac, you're gonna see like something that Judah Maccabee did to bring courage to his brothers that was fighting. Like he did a little something just to boost their courage. You feel me? Because you don't want to go on a war vibrating under the vibration of, oh, dang, that look like that might hurt. We might lose. Oh, that sword looks sharp. You got to step to the battle just like David did to Goliath. You're going down today. You got to be full. You got to be in full confidence. You understand? You got to be in full confidence when you go into war. Feel me? And that's spiritual or physical war. So notice they prayed. They blew them trumpets who sounded trumpets and they cried with prayer. 34. The host of Timotheus, knowing that it was Maccabees, fled from him. Before he smote them with a great slaughter. So that there were killed of them that day about 8,000 men. Yeah, you come from a long line of warriors, man. You feel me? And that's why it's an agenda in this late hour to make the so-called Negro man effeminate and real soft. You understand? And real soft. And that's not the spirit that we ought to be in. You understand? We come from a long line of warriors, man. We protect ours. What you mean? What you mean you finna come knock on this door and I'm finna just let the clan up in my house and you finna take my children and my nephew up out of here? No. You look, you gonna meet your maker before I do. You see, that's the mind you gotta be in. You understand? There's nothing wrong with you standing up and protecting what's yours. All right, 35. This done, Judas turned aside the Masphah, and after he had assaulted it, he took and slew all the males therein, and received the spoils thereof, and burnt it with fire. From thence, the Judah Maccabee wasn't no joke, man. He was like a lion out here. He wasn't no joke. From thence, when he and took Capspan, Maged, Besor, and the other cities of the country of Galaad. After these things gathered Timotheus another host, and encamped against Raphan beyond the brook. Now this is after Judah Maccabee done slayed his host. You feel me? Now he gathers another host. So Judah sent men to spy the host, who brought him word saying, all the heathen that be round about us are assembled unto them, even a very great host. He have also hired the Arabians to help them. Look at that. He got Ishmael with him, right? He have also hired the Arabians to help them, and they have pitched their tents beyond the brook, ready to come and fight against thee. Upon this, Judas went to meet them. Then Timotheus said unto the captains of his host, when Judas and his host come near the brook, if he pass over first unto us, we should not be able to withstand him, for he will mightily prevail against us. This heathen knew it. All right. But if he be afraid and camp beyond the river, we shall go over unto him and prevail against him. So one thing the heathen understood in warfare, majority of the war is psychological. You feel me? Psychological means the study of the mind, right? Most of it's psychological, a mindset that you must have when you're going into war. That's why if you was afraid, they sent you home. You're afraid. You know what I'm saying? And that vibration can't spread through the ranks. You see? Now when Judas came near the brook, he called the scribes to the people to remain by the brook, unto whom he gave commandments, saying, suffer no man to remain in the camp, but let all come to the battle. Yahoo, man up. Clip up. Put your swords on. Let's get it. Right? So he went first over unto them, and all the people after him. Then all the heathen, being discomfited before him, cast away their weapons and fled unto the temple that was at Coleman. But they took the city and burned the temple with all that were therein. Thus was Coleman subdued. Neither could they stand any longer before Judas. Then Judas gathered together all the Israelites. That sounds beautiful. The Israelites, huh? You see that? The Israelites. Then Judas gathered together all the Israelites that were in the country of Galaad, from the least unto the greatest, even their wives and their children and their stuff, a very great host, to the end they might come into the land of Judea. He was banging for his people, man. Banging for his God and banging for his people. Sound like he was dedicated. Sound like he was devoted. Sound like he was constant. Huh? Nah, you see how he was fighting in the flesh and even in the spirit was praying. How valiant you gonna be in the spirit around this time of the year to wage war? You understand? Against the forces of darkness. What you mean? Right? Whenever you start feeling the spirit of compromise, and then I just miss my mama candy yams, not my mama biscuits. Look, you can eat your mama candy yams and biscuits whenever. We must take a strong stand against darkness, man. You understand? We must take a strong stand against paganism, like feasting that has nothing to do with us. And the beautiful part about it, the Most High got feast days in this Bible. You understand? Let's do that. What's the problem? right? 46. Now, when they came into Ephraim, this was a great city in the way as they should go, very well fortified. They could not turn from it either on the right hand or the left, but must needs pass through the midst of it. All right. Then they of the city shut them out and stopped up the gates with stones. Whereupon Judas sent unto them in peaceable manner, saying, let us pass through your land to go into our own country, and none shall do you any hurt. We will only pass through on foot, albeit they will not open unto him. Wherefore Judas commanded a proclamation to be made throughout the host, that every man should pitch his tent in the place where he was. So the soldiers pitched and assaulted the city all that day and all that night, till at the length the city was delivered into his hands, who then slew all the males with the edge of the sword, and razed the city, and took the spoils thereof, and passed through the city over them that were slain. This, hey, what I'm saying is our forefathers was banging to make sure this light stayed on, man. What are we gonna do? Now, how do we compromise and take on the spirit of going along to get along? We got forefathers that was like, we'll die before we become Greeks. We'll die before we worship your God. You understand? That look, this is the only mindset that will combat this Greek oppression. It's the only mindset, man. You can't combat it. Oh, it looked like it hurt. Okay, for peace sakes. No, man, you got to stand up. All right, you got to stand up. 52. After this, went they overjoyed into the great plain before Bethsan. And Judas gathered together those that came behind and exhorted the people all the way through till they came into the land of Judea. So they went up to Mount Zion with joy and gladness. Y'all see that? So they went up to Mount Zion with joy and gladness after all these wars. See? We done got so seduced by Christianity, you think everything is flowers and candy and butterscotch. You did? And you ain't like, hold on, man, Abraham was a warrior. Okay, yeah, he did take down 5 kingdoms with 318 million, and Melchizedec blessed him after that and said, blessed be the Most High who delivered your enemies into your hand. Dang, okay, dang, Jacob and them was banging in the book of Joshua, him and his sons, and it was like only a few of them against hundreds of thousands of them, and we handled business because what we do, we stood fast on the word of the Most High. And we have full unwavering faith. Full unwavering faith, man. You understand? You can see how so-called Stan Lee and Jack Kirby got all their inspiration for these so-called meta-humans, DC Comics and more. You can see they got it right out the Bible. Like Judah Maccabee and them doing stuff you only see in movies. You understand? That you only see in movies. And I'm here to tell y'all, Zion, this is your history, man. Do you know how special you are to the Most High? And in this late hour, especially for us men, you men man up, man. Take the bull by the horns. Take the bull by the horn. These sisters should feel comfortable around us. Like, I know ain't nothing gonna happen. You understand? That's how it should be, because guess what? They'd feel comfortable around Judah Maccabee and his brothers. Because they wasn't taking become Greeks for nothing. You understand? They did whatever they had to do to defend their people. You see? And their father passed that blessing when he was on his deathbed. Y'all died banging for the laws of the Most High. Period. You understand? Recover the law at the hand of the heathen, recover the temple, and protect the Most High's people. And don't be afraid. You see that? All right? Don't be afraid. All right. So they went up to Mount Zion with joy and gladness after these wars, right? Where they offered burnt offerings because not one of them was slain until they had returned in peace. You talking about 8,000 men, 3,000 men, 4,000, all these heathens getting slain, and not one of us got slain. Now, what time is Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Galaad, and Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemaeus, Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias, captains of the garrison, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done. Now, remember earlier, he told these men right here what? He told them, y'all in charge, but do not go to war until I come back, right? So Judah and them banging so hard, they hearing about all this word getting back to them. Like, man, they down. They just laid down 8,000 of them. They just laid down 5,000 of them. You know, Simon over here in Gilead, Judah and Jonathan over here in Galaad, man, they handling business, man. Right? So remember, he told these two brothers right here, do not go to war. All right? Do not go to war. 57. Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name and go fight against the heathen that are round about us. So when they had given charge into the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azariah were put to flight and pursued into the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men, all because they didn't keep order. You understand? The order was what? Don't go to war. You in charge, but don't go to war till I come back. Right? And this is something else to show you. We run around and run our mouth and talk about order and all that. You understand? When it come down to taking a simple order, we fumble. Simple, that was simple. Yeah, you in charge. Fortify the city, you in charge. Don't go to war till I get back. And you're hearing this from somebody that you know the Most High is with. You know it, right? But all because you wanted to get you a name. See? Judah and them wasn't going to war to get him a name. He was going to war to fight the war of the Most High, to recover the temple, recover the law, to fight for our people. He wasn't going to get a name. He was going because of what his father commanded him to do. You see? And through that, he got a name. It wasn't even about himself. You understand? He showed up to the battle like, look, I'm here to bang. These two brothers heard of what Judas and them was doing and said, look, let's get us a name too. And they forgot the order that they was given. You understand? And look what happened. Not only them, but 2,000 Israelites died that were under their charge. All because a simple order was not what followed. Scripture talk about vainglory, man. Vainglory. You did? Vainglory. The Most High exalts you in due season, man. All you got to do is remain humble. You remain humble, the Most High is going to exalt you. All right? But he heard about them getting a name. They going to be famous and I won't. And then he want to get into a competitive type spirit, which is another off spirit. You got that from the Greeks. Competing with one another. Hell, we competing for? Huh? What we competing for? That's my question. All right. 61, my bad, 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act. Stay in order, Zion. You understand? I mean, that's from a national level to a personal level within your own household. Stay in order, brothers and sisters. Stay in order, man. You feel me? As long as you stay in order, you ain't even got to worry about nothing. You ain't even got to worry about nothing. You were simply taking orders. All right? 62. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel. Deliverance was given unto Israel through the sons of Matthias. These weren't sons of Matthias, right? See, the Most High deals with certain individuals and then everybody else, as long as you are following who the Most High is dealing with, you understand? He'll bless you too. He'll bless you too. But this man was chasing glory, man, and you know, he got glory, but it wasn't what he was looking for. We read about him today and we learn about his mistake that him, well, not him, them. It was two of them. They led 2,000 men in the war ill-advisedly after they received order not to go. You see? 963, howbeit the man Judas and his brethren were greatly renowned in the sight of all Israel and of all the heathen, wheresoever their name was heard of. Look, his name, Judas and his brother, they name rung bells. No, you heard that today, boy. His name ring bells out here. That means, you understand, he's very famous. What he's doing is just spreading. Because the Most High is with him. All right. 64. And so much as the people assembled unto them with joyful acclamations. Afterwards, when Judas forth with his brethren and fought against the children of Esau in the land toward the south, where he smote Hebron and the towns thereof, and pulled down the fortress of it, and burned the towers thereof round about. From thence he removed to go into the land of Philistines and pass through Samaria. At that time, certain priests, desirous to show their valor, were slain in battle, for that they went out to fight unadvisedly. See? Stay in order, Zion. You understand? You know the Most High is dealing with that brother. Stay in order. It's just what it is. You understand? And look, it's the Most High business who he choose. Nobody cares if you don't like who he got in charge. It's just what it is. That's who he chose. You remember the mumble mouth Negroes that went against Moses? Moses had to draw a line and say, if you over here, come with me. You over there, stay on over there. And the earth opened up and swallowed them. Not just the men, their entire houses, their wives, and their children as well. So what do we learn out of that? What wisdom do we pull out of that? Rule well, brothers. Rule well. Rule well. Stay in order. Sisters too, you stay in order. You understand? You ain't trying to be those that go out claiming trying to show valor, seeking glory unadvisedly and get slain, man. All right. 68. So Judas turned to Azotus in the land of the Philistines, and when he had pulled down their altars and burned their carved images with fire and spoiled their cities, he returned into the land of Judea. Oh, boy, this. Hey, look, our forefather Judah Maccabee wasn't playing no games, man. This brother was putting heads to bed out here. That's the spirit we ought to be in when we going against all these so-called pagan days and all that, man. You feel me? In spirit, you dig? Nah, that gotta go. Oh, I shouldn't be invited. How about that? Right? And the whole thing is this, man. Just get our people to think. That's what it is. We just get them to think. You understand? Like you ain't gonna be able to go over and kick Christmas trees over and burn this and burn that. I'm talking about when you dialoguing and discoursing with your people about why you don't do Christmas, why you don't do Easter. Come on over anyway, baby. I ain't seen you. Look, I'm talking about the compromising spirit. That spirit deep down, like I do want some of my mama biscuits, and look, calm all that down, man. You dig? Nothing wrong with feasting. It's just this feast for the right cause. You understand? There is no righteous spiritual connection about Christmas. About no chestnuts, about no mistletoes, about no eggnog. We all know the Messiah wasn't even born on Christmas. Everybody know that. Come on, it's 2018, almost 2019, and a Negro will still tell you Christmas is Christ's birthday. Where are you reading that at? There ain't even no clues into it. And then you make an excuse like, well, you know, that the wise men bought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So that's why I get my son Tonka trucks. And hold on. If it's Christ's birthday, what the hell you doing getting gifts? You see, the whole thing start unraveling. This ain't got nothing to do with the Messiah. It's Babylonian, ain't got everything to do with Nimrod. Yeah, whole nother topic, but we'll be getting into it. Yeah, he was third, boy. Mattathias wasn't no joke. What he peed, Shalom. No doubt, Rachel. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Right now, we're not celebrating Nimrod's birthday. We good. All right, y'all. Next book we up is 2nd Maccabees, the 10th chapter. We just in 1st Mac 5. You understand? We in 2nd Mac, the 10th chapter now. We're going to read a couple of these. And again, more exploits of Judah Maccabees, man. Dedicated to dedication, man. Dedicated. Dedicated means what? Devoted. Let me put a definition up again just in case some of y'all wasn't here. All right. Right here it says, devoted to a cause, ideal, or purpose. I'm reading the one out of Miriam's right here. Dedicated. Definition 1, devoted to a cause, ideal, or purpose. Zealous. You see that? There's nothing wrong with being zealous in a righteous manner. Definition 2, given over to a particular purpose. Y'all see that? Another definition, wholly committed to a particular course of thought or action. I like that one. I like that one. Wholly committed to a particular course of thought or action, devoted. So dedicated to dedication. And the opposite of being dedicated is being disloyal, being a traitor. not being constant. All right. Second Mac 10. Second Mac 10, we'll start at verse 1. All right. We went over some of this in the last video, but I want to get down into it. I want to show the spiritual protection that these brothers had. They had spiritual protection with them. Feel me? And that's something that we must all realize, man. Realize the Most High is with you. Scripture tell you he make his angels or ministers or serving ministers or flames of fire, sent forth to be heirs to them or serve them who will be heirs of salvation. And the angels call us brothers, right? The Most High is our Father. Angels call us brothers. You dig? It tells the Hebrews, it say in Hebrews that it behooved the Messiah to be made like his brothers. This is a family we talking about, y'all. Y'all with God now. Yo, they why in them. That's who you with. You feel me? And know of a certainty when you out in the world and you moving around, driving, walking, whatever, know it. Never let that go. Know that the Most High is with you. As long as you're obedient, he's with you. As long as you rock it in faith, he's with you. Never forget that. All right, all praise, glory, and honor. Second Mac 10 and 1. Now, Maccabee is in this company, Yod Hey Wah Hey, guiding them. Recovered the temple and the city. Hallelujah. Because they tell you in the book of Psalms, unless the Most High protect the city, the watchmen wake it in vain. Unless the Most High build a house, you labor in vain. The Most High was with these brothers, man. That's why we remember this feast. What you mean? The Most High was with them. But the altars which the heathen had built in the open streets and also the chapels, they pulled down. That's right. And having cleansed the temple, they made another altar. And striking stones, they took fire out of them and offered a sacrifice after 2 years and set forth incense and lights and showbread. And it's also called the Feast of Dedication because in the temple, you got your golden altar. Your lights is your menorah. That's why you see brothers rocking menorahs and all that, candlestick. Right? Yeah. Incense. And on a whole other deeper metaphysical, spiritual level, man, all they got to do with the Messiah, but that's another lesson. We can show each important part of the temple layout got to do with him. Whether you're talking about the door, I am the door. Whether you're talking about his flesh that was offered, hey, we got it. All right. Whether you're talking about the bread, he is the bread of life. Whether you're talking about the lights in the temple, I am the light. Right. Whether you're talking about the golden altar of incense for prayer, and pray, and ask the Father anything in Yahweh's name, he's there. Feel me? Man, even dealing with the Ark of the Covenant and all that. Every aspect, every important part, even the pools of lava that the priests had to wash in. That's the foreshadowing of the baptism and all that, man. Everything from the feast down to how the temple was set up and everything has a shadow or is a shadow of the beloved Son of the Most High. Believe it or not. But, that's a whole nother topic, but it's all good. All right. All praise, glory, and honor to the Most High, owner, creator, and possessor of all things. All right. It's all good. Yeah, you fall short, sis, just keep banging. You're going to have it. You know what I'm saying? But bang and challenge yourself to be better than the day before. All right. All right. All we can live, we can't worry about our past. We can't do nothing but learn from it. Turn away from it and learn from it. Live now, though. Don't worry about tomorrow. And Messiah told us that too. What you talking about tomorrow for? Tomorrow take care of the things of itself. We live now. That's what I'm talking about. Focus on now. Right? And when you run across that's making you weak, when you run across that bridge, you got to deal with how the Messiah dealt with the tempter in Matthew the 4th chapter and Luke the 4th chapter. But live now, man. Right? Only thing you're supposed to do is learn from your losses, learn from your past, but don't dwell on it because you'll get stuck there. And you'll never ascend how you're supposed to ascend. You'll never grow. Most High bless you, tie. All praises. It is what it is. All right. Second Mac 10 and 3. And having cleansed the temple, they made another altar. I read that already. Verse 4. When that was done, they fell flat down and besought Yod Hey Wah Hey that they might come no more into such troubles. Because that had to be hell poured out on them, man. That was a 3.5-year war. That was a 3.5-year war. All right. But if they sin any more against him, that he himself would chasten them with mercy, that they might not be delivered into the blasphemous and barbarous nations. You see that? And like Most High, if we sin, you chasten us with mercy, please. Please don't deliver us into these blasphemous and barbarous nations. These heathens are barbarians. Base men, low men of no reputation, reputed as nothing, according to the book of 2nd Ezra. These heathens who have been reputed as nothing have begun to rule over us. Woo! I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of it. It's time for us to be obedient. It's time for us to be obedient and stop doing what the heathen is doing and watch your father bang for you, man. Huh? Verse 5. Now upon the same day that the strangers profaned the temple, on the very same day it was cleansed again, even the 5 and 20th day of the same month, which is Caslu. All right. That started last Sunday. So we talking about December the 2nd. And sundown was the 25th day of the month Caslu. All right. Matter of fact, tomorrow evening will be a new moon, the 10th month. Because if you at the 25th day of the 9th month, you only got what, 5 more days? 5 more days. Yep, it's only 30 days in the month. Then you got your new moon. You understand? All right, so the 10th month starts tomorrow night, I believe it is. All right, 6. And they kept the 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of the Tabernacles. Yeah, because guess what's being dedicated? The tabernacle is the temple, right? It's just like the Feast of Tabernacles. But like a Feast of Tabernacles part 2. All right? As in the Feast of Tabernacles, both of them are 8 days. Remember that not long before they had held the Feast of the Tabernacles, when as they wandered in the mountains and dens like beasts, they like, look, we just kept the feast on the run not that long ago, which is right because the Feast of Tabernacles is the 15th day of the 7th month, through day 22 of the 7th month. The Feast of Dedication is the 25th day of the 9th month. So you're talking about roughly 2 months earlier. 8 weeks earlier, they had kept the Feast of Tabernacles on the run. When as they wandered in the mountains and dens like beasts, they still kept the feast though. They weren't allowed to go to Jerusalem. Verse 7. Therefore they bear branches and fir boughs and palms also, and sang psalms unto him that had given them good success in cleansing his place. Yeah, right after the battle, even after we came out of Egypt. Exodus 15. The verse 3, the Most High is a man of war. That was a song, y'all. So we've been dropping bars and recording music and all that. We've been doing that. You understand? The book of Psalms is a whole book of songs. He started off in all of them to the chief musician. Like, hit that beat. Play this type of note right here. I got something to say. You see that? All right. So it says right here, verse 8, they ordained also by common statute and decree that every year those days should be kept of the whole nation of the Hebrews or the Yahudim. They declared that. Right. So some people say, well, it ain't in Leviticus 23. Well, look, just keep studying. You feel me? Because there were more events in our history that happened. That the Most High was with us because we stood strong on his word. The proof the Most High was with us. It is right in the scripture. Right. So even though it's not in Leviticus 23, there were certain events that had not happened yet. That we definitely were going to remember that righteous acts of the Most High. Definitely. Definitely. If these heathens can remember Memorial Day and Veterans Day and Labor Day and Father's Day and Mother's Day and Christmas and All Hallows Eve and Thanksgiving, they can remember all that. Come on, man. You mean to tell me we can't keep in memory what the Most High has done for us? And it's evident Yahweh was with them. All right. And this was the end of Antiochus called Epiphanes. That's right. He ended up dying. He's a forerunner to the Antichrist. He ended up the Most High hit him with an invisible plague, troubled his bowels. You feel me? I mean, he stank so bad they could smell him from yesterday. Worms start crawling out his flesh. Where he said, man, I want to be a Jew. It's too late. Now we declare the acts of Antiochus Eupator. This is his son, who was the son of this wicked man. gathering briefly the calamity of the wars. So when he was come to the crown, he said one Lysias over the affairs of his realm and appointed him his chief governor of Celio, Syria, and Phoenice. All right. But Ptolemaeus, that was called Macron, choosing rather to do justice unto the Jews for the wrong that had been done unto them, endeavored to continue peace with them. Whereupon being accused of the king's friends before Eupator and called traitor at every word because he had left Cyprus, that Philometor had committed unto him and departed to Antiochus Epiphanes, and seeing that he was in no honorable place, he was so discouraged that he poisoned himself and died. He committed suicide. When Gorgias, he's the name Gorgias, but when Gorgias was governor of the host, he hired soldiers and nourished war continually with the Jews. Yeah. This would be like a George H.W. Bush or something like that, because he waged war continually against us. How ironic, this guy named here is Georgius, or I call him Gorgias. He the name Gorgias. He had soldiers and nourished war continually with the Jews, like these heathens do today, through all their programs. You understand? Through their water, through their GMO foods. You understand? Through the CDC, Center for Disease Control. Through your economic policies, through your local politics, through your national politics, all of it, man. All of it is what's called dog whistle politics to what? To make sure the children of Israel never rise. Flat out. Flat out. All right. 15. And therewith the Idumeans, having got into their hands the most commodious holes, kept the Jews occupied. And receiving those that were banished from Jerusalem, they went about to nourish war. Then they that were with Maccabees made supplication and besought Yod-Heh-Wahed that he would be their helper. So they ran with violence upon the strongholds of Idumea. See, again, y'all, prayer is a weapon. Praying, just dear Father God, flowers and buttercups and, running water and, calming rain for the night. No. You see, these brothers were actually petitioning the throne of Yod-Heh-Wahed, Yahweh. You understand? And getting major league results in war. And assaulting them strongly, they won the holes and kept off all that fought upon the wall and slew all that fell into their hands and killed no fewer than 20,000. The most I had to be with these brothers, man. He had 20,000 with him. You see that? But prayed unto the Most High. Prayed unto the Most High. Right? So when we going through whatever we going through Israel, never forget you have a weapon called prayer. You got a hotline right to the Most High. Right to him. Right? Seal all your prayers under the vibration and in the name of Yahweh Shah the Messiah. Right? And when you're done praying, believe with all certainty that it's answered. Thank him before it even arrives. Thank you. Thank you in advance. It's already done. All right. And because certain who were no less than 9,000 were fled together into two very strong castles, having all manner of things convenient to sustain the siege, Maccabees left Simon and Joseph and Zacchaeus also, and them that were with him, who were enough to besiege them, and departed himself unto those places which more needed his help. Exactly. Now they that were with Simon, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle, and took 70,000 drachmas and let some of them escape. Look at that there. Okay, so if there's money involved, you down to take a blind, you down to turn a blind eye, you down to take a bribe. See that? You know the implications of what's going on. You know the hell that these heathens are pouring out upon us. You understand? And you look up and you can be bought off to let some of them escape. But when it was told Maccabees what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. Do you see that? That's being a traitor. When he do. So he slew those that were found traitors and immediately took the two castles. Now remember, to be another word for being dedicated is being loyal, right? A word opposite of being loyal is what? A traitor. Traitor. And you see what Maccabee did. He ain't just hit these heathens that was tripping. Even the traitors amongst our people got put down. Even the traitors. right? And then you in a position of leadership like that, you can't be all emotional and all that. Can't be like that. It's just like when you banging and doing what thus saith the Most High, you got to stay focused on what is you to do. You can't be all, you know what I'm saying, emotional and oh, I'm cool with him. I'm in my childhood, man. He a traitor. He just let the enemy go because they paid him off. They ain't gonna do nothing but go gather more forces and come back to bang against us. He slew them because they was traitors, man. How many of us run around in a traitorous spirit today? I don't know, man. I like the ancient world more than this. Oh, this is too sloppy in this modern living. Everything's sloppy. You say what you want to say, you can do what you want to do. There's no type of blowback behind it. You understand? Nobody honors their word anymore. I like the ancient world more. At least you knew what you can and couldn't do. And if you decided to even do something opposite of that, you knew your life would have been required of you. Right? Us as stiff-necked rebellious Israelites, you need that type of structure. That way, whenever something comes down, it's on you. It's on you. Don't leave no room for madness. All right, 23. And having good success with his weapons in all things he took in hand, he slew in the two holes more than 20,000. Man, Yahoo, man. Salute Judah Maccabee. I pray I can meet that brother one day. All right. Now, Timothy is whom the Jews had overcome before when he had gathered a great multitude of foreign forces and horses out of Asia, not a few, came as though he would take Jewry by force of arms. When he drew near, they that were with Maccabees turned themselves to pray unto Yod-Wahe and sprinkled earth upon their heads and girded their loins with sackcloth. Fell down at the foot of the altar and besought him to be merciful to them and to be an enemy to their enemies and an adversary to their adversaries, as the law declareth. That's Genesis 12, 1-3. Most High told Abraham, I'll curse those that curse you. Curse you. You see? And their prayer wasn't about flowers, candy. Their prayer wasn't like being in the Mr. Rogers spirit. Would you be my neighbor? Nah. Their prayer was that the Most High be an enemy to their enemies and be merciful to us. You understand? How many of us will pray like that today? Or would you be scared to? See what happened after they prayed in full faith. So after the prayer, they took their weapons and went on further from the city. And when they drew near to their enemies, they kept by themselves. Now the sun being newly risen, they joined both together, the one part having together with their virtue, their refuge also unto Yod-Wahe for a pledge of their success and victory. The other side making their rage leader of their battle. Strong. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews. Now we talking. You see, they pray unto the Most High, and the Most High send hit me and your big brothers in them. Those that call you brothers. To assist you in battle. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews, and took Maccabees betwixt them. Like they, you understand? Stand right here. Right, stand between us, and covered him on every side, weapons, and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Heard that? And look, the same prayers, y'all, activate the same exact reality they had. That's why the prayers are so important. I'm gonna do a class, y'all, willing on all the powerful prayers in the scripture, right? And the results that came behind them. So we can understand that how powerful our prayers are. You just gotta believe it and expect it to happen. Understand? And thank them before it even manifests. It's already done. You just waiting to receive it. All right. And there was slain of footmen 20,000 and 500 and 600 horsemen. As for Timotheus himself, he fled into a very stronghold called Gara, where Kyrios, they that were with Maccabees laid siege against the fortress courageously 4 days. And they that were within, trusting to the strength of the place, blasphemed exceedingly and uttered wicked words. Nevertheless, upon the 5th day, early, 20 young men of Maccabees' company, inflamed with anger, because these assaulted the wall manly, and with the first courage killed all that they met with them. Y'all hear that? Otherwise, I'm tripping. Others likewise ascending after them while they were bruised with them that were within, burnt the towers, and kindling fires burnt the blasphemers alive. And others broke open the gates, and having received in the rest of the army, took the city and killed Timotheus that was hid in a certain pit, and Coreus' brother with Apollo Phanes. When this was done, they praised Yahweh. Why? Y'all heard that? Huh? Not your sweet Jesus, though, huh? Y'all act like the Messiah, the Son of the Most High, just some passive chump. Y'all better reread them scriptures. Huh? Man, our forefathers praised the Most High for waging war against these heathens, waging war against the forces of darkness. And we supposed to be just as valiant in spirit, y'all. Just as valiant in spirit. I'm always looking for an opportunity to speak to our people. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I be out during this time of season, I may run to a Walmart or run to a store real quick, handle some business for the house, and somebody done slipped up and said happy holidays. Slipped up and said Merry Christmas. Oh, really? And then me, I'd usually just, I'd be like, well, look, I know a group of brothers is offering $4,000 per person for anybody that can find Christmas in the Bible. And Christmas as given by the God of the Bible. The brothers I ran to said they got $4,000 a piece. So if you can find it, and your grandmama can find it, and your mama can find it, what's that? That's $12,000 y'all can get. All you gotta do is come show that Christmas is something that God gave in the Bible. That's how you know what I'm saying, like older women and all that, or what I'm saying, people that really can't take that roaring. Dang, that nigga sound crazy. So I'd be like, well, mama, they offering $4,000 down the street for anybody that can prove Christmas is something that God gave in the Bible. Boy, and I say that like while I'm in line. You understand? I say it loud enough to where everybody can hear me. They did, but somebody is gonna think about that. Somebody gonna be like, hold on, let me go try to find it. There was a brother in the store today that said something about $4,000, but this is how we supposed to be, man. All right, 38. When this was done, they praised Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh with psalms and thanksgiving, who had done so great things for Israel and given them victory, giving them the victory. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Y'all getting some understanding thus far? Y'all getting some understanding? Go ahead and throw a 7 up in there. Would you say, Shaul, the order bullshit? Would you say, the order bullshit? All right, next we going to y'all second Mac 12. Second Mac 12. We coming to the end of this thing. Second Mac 12. All right, show y'all that too. And again, man, we feasting tonight in the STL, baby. All praises. We'll be live then too. Man. Yeah. I'm trying to line up a few brothers. I want to line up like 6 brothers that's willing to teach 4 hours a piece. That's 24 hours. Yeah. So on like a so-called New Year's Eve or something like that, we can be teaching all day. So y'all willing, I'm lining that up now. You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's right. Bang, bang, bang. All right, y'all. Second Mac 12. We in second Mac 12. I believe we is. And it's so many different mighty acts of Judah Maccabee all throughout this apocrypha. It's major. It's major. All right. Janae Yasha Allah, you getting some understanding too. Person in the building. All right, y'all. Second Mac 12. Second Mac 12. Allah, Lord Yah. Verse 1, when these covenants were made, Lysias went unto the king, and the Jews were about their husbandry. Husbandry mean we're farmers. We plant seeds, we harvest crops and all that. And for the most part, you feel me, when the scripture say a man don't work, he don't eat, that's what it's talking about. Like, we had our own land and all that, we plant our own crops. Now, if you was that lazy to where you wouldn't get up and go work your own land and plant your own seeds for your family, then guess what? You was beyond slothful. You wasn't even worth being a husband. A husband, somebody that plants seeds. You know what I'm saying? And harvest crops, feed his family. All right, verse 2. But of the governors of several places, Timotheus and Apollonius, the son of Genneus, also Hieronymus and Demophon, and beside them Nicanor. Y'all remember his name right here, because there's a feast actually the day before Purim. It's called the destruction of Nicanor. We about to read about it, right? That's something else we're supposed to be doing. The destruction of Nicanor. We actually threw a feast and thanked the Most High for destroying him. Because y'all, when these heathens come at us, man, they ain't pulling no stops, no punches. They coming at it. They gonna come with everything they got. They come with everything they got, right? We need to be more and more spiritual with the world. We can call in an airstrike. You should be look. If they got hellfire drones, you got Messiah told Herod, not Herod, but Pilate. He said, "Boy, I can summon a legion of angels now and handle up." And he said, "Look, you're gonna do greater works than me. You're gonna do what I do and even greater." Right? Spiritual where we can straight summon our brothers. At the Most High, that we pray to the Most High, petition his throne, and he give a command to our brothers. Hey, just like what just happened in that second Maccabee 10, right? 5 head busters showed up, 5 of your big brothers showed up. They put Judah Maccabee in between them, and they shot lightnings and arrows at the heathens and then destroyed them. Imagine what that did for their faith, seeing that, man. Imagine what that did for their faith. We asked the Most High for it, and he gave it to us. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. All right. So y'all remember Nicanor, all right? The governor of Cyprus would not suffer them to be quiet and live in peace. That's all we want to do for the most part, y'all. Just live peaceful, man. We peaceful people for the most part. We go to war when we got to, but for the most part, we peaceful. That's all we want to do, live in peace, raise our family, man. Praise our God, you understand? And take care of our people. That's all we want to do. But these fish-lipped jackals ain't having it, right? The men of Joppa also did such an ungodly deed. They prayed the Jews that dwelt among them to go with their wives and children into the boats, which they had prepared as though they had meant them no hurt, who accepted of it according to the common decree of the city as being desirous to live in peace and suspected nothing. But when they were going forth into the deep, they drowned no less than 200 of them. Y'all see what these heathens did? Huh? Somehow made us get on some type of boat. And they took it as a decree from the city. This would show that y'all desires to live in peace. All right, well, yeah, we want to live in peace. What we got to do? We got to get into a boat. Okay. Well, they got all the way out into the deep, you dig, and drowned 200 of our brothers and sisters. 200. 200. You see that? 200. How could you ever forget what happened? You hear people all the time, oh, forget about it. Now you mumble mouth Negroes forget. We ain't gonna never forget what didn't happen here. All right. When Judas heard of this cruelty done unto his countrymen, he commanded those that were with him to make them ready. Now, y'all get ready for war. They did what? They drowned 200 of your brothers and sisters, man, who wasn't trying to live peaceful. They did what? They drowned them. Clip up. Huh? Put your sword, gird up with your sword. Hey, we got to go to war behind that. Y'all killed 200 of mine. We got to go to war. That's what he's saying. He heard of their cruelty, right? Trip off this, verse 6. And calling upon Yod-Wahe, the righteous judge, he came against those murderers of his brethren and burnt the haven by night, and set the boats on fire, and those that fled thither he slew. When the town was shut up, he went backward as if he would return to root out all them of the city of Joppa. When he heard that the Jamnites were minded to do in like manner unto the Jews that dwelt among them, he came upon the Jamnites also by night and set fire on the haven. The haven is where the ships dock at. And the navy, so that the light of the fire was seen at Jerusalem 244 longs off. Now, When they were gone from thence 9 furlongs in their journey toward Timotheus, no fewer than 5,000 men on foot and 500 horsemen of the Arabians set upon them. Whereupon there was a very sore battle, a very sore battle. Woof. But Judas sighed by the help of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Dang, here we go with this again, man. Dang. All right, my bad, y'all. But Judas sighed by the help of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, got the victory, so that the nomads of Arabia, being overcome, besought Judas peace, promising both to give him cattle and to pleasure him otherwise. Then Judas, thinking indeed that they would be profitable in many things, granted them peace, whereupon they shook hands, and so they departed to their tents. He went also about to make a bridge to a certain strong city, which was fenced about with walls and inhabited by the people of diverse countries. The name of it was Caspis. They that were within it put such trust in the strength of the walls and provision of victuals that they behaved themselves rudely toward them that were with Judas, railing and blaspheming and uttering such words as were not to be spoken. But for Judas with his company, calling upon the great Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh of the world, who without rams or engines of war did cast down Jericho in the time of Joshua, gave a fierce assault against the wall. So you see what he do when he called on the Most High, bringing into remembrance the righteous acts that the Most High did for his forefathers in the past. We need to do the same. We need to do the same. You need them results. Always bring up the mighty acts he did for your forefathers in the past. You, O Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh Yahweh, who was with my forefather David when he slew Goliath. You, O Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, who was with the Israelites, my forefathers, when they marched 7 days. You, O Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, who was with my forefather Abraham when he took 318 of his servants and took down 5 kingdoms. You is who we praying. You understand? Who gathered Elijah in a chariot. You, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, in marvelous things for our forefathers in the past. You, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, who smote all the firstborn of Egypt. You, O Yahweh, who split the Red Sea in parts. You, O Yahweh. You see, you start bringing into memory all the righteous acts the Most High did for our fathers who trusted in him and who were obedient unto him. And watch miracles start happening. Watch miracles start happening. All right, just what it is. All right, 16, and took the city by the will of Yahweh and made unspeakable slaughters, and so much that a lake 2 furlongs broad near adjoining thereunto, being filled full, was seen running with blood. Then 750 furlongs, and came to Karakah to the Jews that are called Tubini. As for Timotheus, they found him not in the places. Before he had dispatched anything, he departed from thence, having left a very strong garrison in a certain hold. Howbeit, Dositheus and Sosipater, who were of Maccabee's captains, went forth and slew those that Timotheus had left in the fortress, about 10,000 men. These brothers was not playing, man. That's a lot of bodies to be dropping. That's a lot of bodies to be dropping, man. Like real talk. I mean, even in the early 1900s, they had what was called a Valentine's Day massacre, and that was only 7 people that got killed. It did. And they dropping thousands at a time, man. Like it's nothing. Like it's another day at the office. You see, y'all come from a long line. We come from a long line of warriors, righteous warriors, right? And the very prayers that work for them work for us. Well, Mally, why you say that? Because we under the same covenant, ain't we? We serve the same God, don't we? Does not the DNA of our ancestors run all through us? Well, the very prayers that work for them will work for you. You just got to believe. 20. And Maccabee ranged his army by bands and set them over the bands and went against Timotheus, who had about him 120,000 men afoot and 2,500 horsemen. Now, when Timotheus had knowledge of Judah coming, he sent the women and children and the other baggage into a fortress called Corneon, for the town was hard to besiege and uneasy to come unto by reason of the straightness of all the places. But when Judas, his first band came in sight, the enemies being smitten with fear and terror through the appearing of him who seeth all things, fled amain, one running into this way and another that way, so as that they were often hurt of their own men and wounded with the points of their own swords. The Most High sent the spirit of derision on these heathens, man. When they seen his servants out there, they fled. They start running. You ever see children start running around and they ain't got no place to go? They just running. And a lot of them bump into each other and hit their heads and fall and say, ow. The Most High put the spirit of children on these heathens. Made them just run around. You feel me? So that they were often hurt of their own men and wounded with the points of their own swords. Wow. Judah also was very earnest in pursuing them, killing those wicked wretches, of whom he slew about 30,000 men. Woof! Woof! Moreover, Timotheus himself fell into the hands of Dositheus and Sosipater, whom he besought with much craft to let him go with his life, because he had many of the Jews' parents and the brethren of some of them, who, if they put him to death, should not be regarded. So when he had assured them with many words that he would restore them without hurt, according to the agreement, they let him go for the saving of their brethren. Then Maccabeus marched forth to Cornion and to the temple of Atargatis, and there he slew 25,000 persons. Man, this brother is unheard of. Man, this sounds like comic book stuff. This sounds like stuff you only see in movies. Man, this is where they getting it all from. Your records. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. All right, 27. After he had put to flight and destroyed them, Judas removed a host toward Ephron, a strong city, wherein Lysias abode, and a great multitude of diverse nations, and the strong young men kept the walls and defended them mightily, wherein also was great provision of engines and darts. But when Judas and his company had called upon Almighty Yahweh, or Yahweh El Shaddai, that's the Lord Almighty, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh El Shaddai, who with his power breaketh the strength of his enemies. They won the city and slew 25,000 of them that were with them. I done lost count of how many heads he done laid down, man. I done lost count. It's like the numbers are so just, it's like it's almost unbelievable if you was viewing this from a carnal mindset today, right? That's 25,000 twice within the past two verses, and that ain't counting everywhere else we done read. The Most High is with this brother, or with these brothers, and those following him. 29. That's right, Poppy. Too many to count. I lost count. 29. From thence they departed to Scyllapolis, which lies 600 furlongs from Jerusalem. But when the Jews that dwelt there had testified that the Scyllopothians dealt lovingly with them and entreated them kindly in the time of their adversity, they gave them thanks, desiring them to be friendly still unto them. And so they came to Jerusalem, the Feast of the Weeks approaching. The Feast of Weeks is what's called Pentecost. After the feast called Pentecost, they went forth against Gorgias, the governor of Idumea. He's the name Gorgias, who came out with 3,000 men of foot and 400 horsemen. And it happened that in their fighting together, a few of the Jews, our people, were slain. At which time Dositheus, one of Basenor's company, who was on horseback, and a strong man was still upon Gorgias, and taking hold of his coat, drew him by force. And when he would have taken that cursed man alive, a horseman of Thracia coming upon him and smote off his shoulder, so that Gorgias fled into Marcia. And when they that were with Gorgias had fought long and were weary, Judas called upon Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, that he will show himself to be their helper and leader of the battle, right? And David said all the time in Psalm that the Most High was his helper. My helper is Izar, or some say Ezer, you understand? So then you'll say Isaiah or Ezri. Yahweh my helper, Yahweh Ezri, or Yahweh Isaiah, Yahweh Isaiah. Huh? That what you're saying is Yod Wahi my helper. All right. And he would show himself to be their helper and leader of the battle. Judas knew where his power was coming from. He knew it. He knew it. It's coming from the Most High. Right? His whole spirit of warfare, his strategy. You understand? His ingenuity, how he was leading the people. Right? All that was given to him by the Most High. And he went to war on full faith. All right, full faith, 37. And with that, he began in his own language and sung psalms with a loud voice and rushing unawares upon gorgeous men, he put them to flight. You see that? Music also is a weapon, y'all. Along with prayer, music is a weapon. You say, well, Mally, how is music a weapon? You going too far now. How? How am I going too far when the very music you listen to today has been weaponized against you? Huh? All the entertainers are sodomites. A lot of them worship the devil, right? And the music that's put out there is low vibration. It keeps you operating in the mindset of an animal. What you mean? Music is a weapon as well. And it's being used against us in this hour. Music. Salute to all the brothers that make righteous music, man. Brothers and sisters that make righteous music. Most High love that. You feel me? Now trip off this. Music must be a weapon because he's singing on his way to the battle. And with that, he began in his own language, just the Hebrew, and sung psalms with a soft, quiet whisper. No, and sung psalms with a loud voice, and rushing unawares upon gorgeous men, he put them to flight. So Judas gathered his hosts and came into the city of Odalam. And when the seventh day came, they purified themselves as the custom was and kept the Shabbat in the same place. And they washed up, got themselves together, got their minds prepared to keep the Sabbath. All right, we ought to be doing the same thing. Right, and upon the day following, which is the first day, as the youths had been, Yahudah and his company came to take up the bodies of them that were slain and to bury them with their kinsmen in their fathers' graves. It's honorable, man. See that? That's honorable. Let's lay them in the graves of their fathers. All right. Verse 40. Now, under the coats of everyone that was slain, they found things consecrated to the idols of the Jamnites, which is forbidden by the Yahudim, by the law. And every man saw that this was the cause wherefore they were slain. You feel me? So what we learn out of that is when you going into war, when you out here in spiritual war, you can't be involved in no type of idolatry, man. See, the Most High ain't down with none of that. And neither will he allow his glory to be shared by an idol. Huh? This is why they were slain. They went into war half cocked. You got idols and all that on. All right, 41. All men therefore praising Yod-Heh-Wahe, the righteous judge, the righteous judge, Zedek Shofet, Tazadak Shapat, who had opened the things that were hid, betook themselves unto prayer. Why, if prayer is not a weapon, if prayer was just you shooting the breeze with the Most High, hey, what's up, Father? How you doing? No, prayer is a weapon. Prayer is a request that you send into the throne of the Almighty to answer something that you really need done. And they constantly stayed in prayer, right? This man is like a lion amongst these heathens. And what's happening? He constantly praying. He constantly praying. And today, most of these Negroes scared to pray. You scared to be caught praying. And what he doing? He praying. You scared you're going to look like a square or something. But meanwhile, the long line of warriors you come from, you understand? They always prayed before they went to battle and was victorious as long as they were obedient. Huh? As long as they were obedient. All right. Betook themselves unto prayer and besought him that the sin committed might wholly be put out of remembrance. Besides that, noble Judas exhorted the people to keep themselves from sin. You see? And that's weird to let our people know, man. We repent, turn away from that. Stop breaking the commands of the Almighty. He can't fight for us like that. To keep themselves from sin, for so much as they saw before their eyes the things that came to pass for the sins of those that were slain. All right? They were slain because they were holding on to idols. You can't serve two masters, man. Right? You can't be unsure of Yahweh talking about you out here warring. but you unsure, but you doubt. That can't happen. That can't happen. All right. All right. 43. And when he had made a gathering throughout the company, the sum of 2,000 drachmas of silver, he sent it to Jerusalem to offer a sin offering, doing therein very well and honestly, and that he was mindful of the what? Resurrection. Resurrection. Some say, what are you doing that for? Even Daniel and them were praying for what? Not only their sins, but the sins of their dead forefathers. He was mindful of the resurrection, not reincarnation, man. I know there's a spirit sweeping Israel today, too. And everybody claim they've been here 200 times. Heard a Negro the other day say, what did he say? He said, he was reading the Maccabees about the mother and 7 sons, and they in there talking about resurrection. He said, you ain't gonna have resurrection in life. And this brother, you understand, who was teaching his class, he assumed the mindset of the mother and 7 sons was they believed in reincarnation. That's why they were ready to die, because they figured they had so many lives to give. I say, wow, this dude hurt bad. This dude hurt bad. It did. So they were mindful of the resurrection. All right. Well, if he had not hoped that they that were slain should have risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead. Now, and that's crazy, it's because a lot of people don't read Maccabees because of this. They like, well, he was praying for the dead. Well, why are we to pray for not only our sins? Our forefathers are dead. Huh? That's in the book of Daniel. He prayed for not only his sins, but the sins of all those who had lived before us. So there is no contradiction with the apocrypha, man. And just certain people don't understand what they're reading. That's all it is. All right. I'm reading that 44 again. For if he had not a hope that they that were slain should have risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead. And also, in that he perceived that there was great favor laid up for those that died godly. It was in holy and good thought, whereupon he made a reconciliation for the dead, that they might be delivered from sin. Hallelujah, Lord. Yeah, man. Mighty acts. These are mighty acts. Next, we go into 2 Maccabees 13. 2 Maccabees 13. 2 Maccabees 13. All right. We got a few more, and then we gonna shut it on down. I gotta finish getting ready for this feast. Now we got this evening, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. You dig? We should be going live. But you know our people, man. You know, so don't be, if we may be on at 7. You know how our people is, though. But all praise and glory and honor to the Most High. Now, you can't be lukewarm. That's right, Blue Tinsel. You can't be lukewarm. Shabbat is at hand, but call Yehuda, no doubt. That's right, Shaul. In our right relationship with Yahweh, we will cultivate balance and discipline. That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. 2 Mac 13. 2 Mac 13. All right, let's get it. In the 149th year, it was told Judas that Antiochus Eupator was coming with a great power into Judea. So they told Judah Mac, like, look, man, the son of Antiochus Epiphanes about to come into Judea again. They were constantly trying to war with us. Constantly, man. Constantly. All right. Well, this is the life of an Israelite. It's always been that. It's always been us against everybody. All right. And with him, Lysias, his protector and ruler of his affairs, having either of them a Grecian power of footmen, 110,000, and horsemen 5,300, and elephants 220, and 300 chariots armed with hooks. Y'all hear that? These Greeks, and also, man, again, for our brothers and sisters that are listening for the first time, that may be involved in fraternities and sororities and all that. That may be into all that. You understand? Understand this. You can repent of that. But the Greek culture, the Hellenized mindset, is a mindset that is contrary to the scriptures. Feel me? The Most High did not give Greek culture to his chosen people. You're not supposed to be a Greek. We reading about all these wars we won against. These are Greeks we won against. Huh? And all their allies, we won against them. And then you got in these last hours, they up here, you know what I'm saying, college gangbanging or bragging about being a Kappa or Alpha or Delta or an Omega. Let the Greeks have their culture, man. All right? These heathens came and I'm talking about straight poured into Judea. Menelaus also joined himself with them and with great dissimulation. That's crazy because that's one of the names of the king of one of the name of the kings of is it Troy or Sparta? That's in the that's in that movie Troy. His name was Menelaus. He even in the Troy he's even in the Troy series that's on Netflix. Menelaus. I tripped off there when I looked at this. I said, dang, that's dude's name. Menelaus also joined himself with them and with great dissimulation encouraged Antiochus, not for the safeguard of the country, but because he thought to have been made governor. But the King of Kings moved Antiochus' mind against this wicked wretch. Y'all see that? But the King of Kings moved Antiochus' mind against this wicked wretch. And Lysias informed the king that this man was the cause of all mischief, so that the king commanded to bring him unto Berea, to put him to death, as the manner is in that place. You see that? They say the King of Kings. That's the Most High. That's Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. And I tell you in Proverbs 16 and Proverbs 21 and 1 and 21 and 1. You understand? That the mind of the Most High or the mind of the king is in the hand of the Most High. As the rivers of water, he turneth whithersoever he will. They say, but the King of Kings moved Antiochus' mind against this wicked wretch, right? And guess what happened to Menelaus? He got killed. Verse 5. Verse 5. Branded like a pig. That's right, Poppy. Now there was in that place a tower of 50 cubits high, full of ashes, and it had a round instrument which on every side hang down into the ashes. And whosoever was condemned of sacrilege or had committed any other grievous crime, there did all men thrust him unto death. Such a death had happened that wicked man to die, not having so much as burial in the earth, and that most justly. For inasmuch as he had committed many sins about the altar, whose fire and ashes were holy, he received his death in ashes. Wow. Wow. Now the king came into a barbarous and haughty mind to do far worse to the Jews than had been done in his father's time. Well, this is Antiochus Epiphanes' son. He said, oh man, I'm gonna make what my father did to y'all look like a fairy tale. I'm gonna do far worse. Which things when Judah perceived, he commanded the multitude to call upon Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh night and day. And trip off that again, even a few videos back, I was telling the people that Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh is our creator, our power. He is even our technology, right? And we look at the definition of technology. It's just something used as a means to gain something. You understand? We have a force on our side that they don't have. And all our forefathers knew it. All our forefathers knew it. It's just we don't know today, right? You've been conditioned to think, to talk, to move, and to feel a certain way. So when you read certain things like this, you deny it. You're like, oh, no, I can't get down with that. You crazy. I can't get down with that. All right? It is what it is. Trip off this right here. So it said, called upon Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh night and day, that if ever at any other time, he would now also help them, being at the point to be put from their law, their country, from the holy temple. Right? So we was in our backs were to the wall. It was a situation where it did most time, we need you to show up now. Because let these heathens tell it, they coming to wipe out the memorial of Jacob, right? And that he would not suffer the people that had even now been but a little refreshed to be in subjection to the blasphemous nations. So when they had all done this together, see, they prayed together. If one prayer is powerful, think about if all of us get together at a certain time and start praying to the Almighty, praying to Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh Yahweh. The earth is shaking. You understand? At the right moment, the earth is shaking. The heavens mess around and crack. So when they had all done this together and besought the merciful Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh Yahweh with weeping and fasting. and lying flat upon the ground 3 days long. Judah, having exhorted them, commanded they should be in a readiness. They fasted, prayed. They on their face praying. Y'all, what you talking about? You scared to get on your knees. These our fall on their face and trip off this. That's where you get that. That's where the whole custom Islam guy, when you look up in the Arabs bending over on their knees with their face to the ground, they get all that from us. Yeah, at certain times we prayed like that with our face to the ground. You understand? To show the Most High that we're humble, we're lower than a footprint, lower than a footprint. You see? And that we need them. We need them, man. Bang, 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 bang. Here we go. Oh, yeah, what's going on? Bro, say, I love saying the name of Yahweh. That's right. Great joy and praise in my soul. Yahweh, Yahweh. No doubt, man. It vibrates too. It vibrates too. I feel it. I feel all of my back and oh man, it's just wow. Straight up. Dang, what's going on? The visuals is messed up or something. I ain't no telling, man. These heathens. Bang, bang, bang. I'm just gonna keep reading. If y'all can still hear me, all the nations still our cousin, man. Can y'all still hear me? Y'all still hear me? Breaking up bad. Is it? Is it? Dang. Let me make sure ain't nobody else on this Wi-Fi over here. Y'all hold on 1 second. Breaking up bad. It always happens. Bang, bang, bang. Still breaking up. Bang, 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 bang. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, put a 7 up in the chat. I don't know why this dude acting like screen still black. Y'all can hear me though? Okay, okay, that's cool. As long as y'all can hear. All right, I'm in verse all right, we all good. I know we don't own these airways. Shalom, Deacon Duell, Jeremiah Ben Yisrael, Shalom. All praise. All praise. Ready for this feast tonight, Hebrew? That's one of the organizers of the feast. May the Most High continue to bless you and your household, my brother. All right, loud and clear. We good. All right, good. So look, second Mac, we in 13, second Mac 13 and 14. So when he had committed all to the creator of heaven and earth, when he had committed all to the creator of the world and exhorted his soldiers to fight manfully, even unto death, for the laws, the temple, the city, the country, and the commonwealth. he can't buy more then. You see that? That's the mindset. And look, y'all, that's the only mindset that's going to defeat anything like this that we up against. That's the only mindset. All right? That's the only mindset, man. Period. All right? You can't be, oh, it looked like it hurt. Ooh. You can't be like that. Can't be like that, man. You understand? Cannot be like that. Like you all scared. Nah, we ain't scared at all. Not we ain't scared a little bit. And having given the watchword to them that were about him, victory of Yod Way, but the most valiant and choice young men, he went into the king's tent by night and slew in the camp about 4,000 men and the chiefest of the elephants with all that were upon him. Woo! Woo! And you see Judah Mac like popping up at night. He like popping up at night while you scratching and yawning. You feel me? Even in the Book of Kings when the Syrians were coming to attack us. Feel me? It was an angel that knocked 185,000 of them in one night. Caught them while they was fighting and scratching. Woof. 16. And at last they filled the camp with fear and tumult and departed with good success. This was done in the break of the day because the protection of Yahweh did help him. Now, when the king had taken a taste of the manliness of the Jews, he went about to take the holds by policy and marched toward Beth-Surah, which was a stronghold of the Jews, but he was put to flight, failed, and lost of his men. For Judas had conveyed unto them that were in it such things as were necessary. But Rhodocus, who was in the Jews' host, disclosed the secrets to the enemies. Therefore, he was sought out, and when they had gotten him, they put him in prison. Locked him on up. The king treated with them in Bethsum the second time, gave his hand, took theirs, departed, fought with Judas, was overcome. Heard that Philip, who was left over the affairs in Antioch, was desperately bent, confounded, entreated the Yahudim, submitted himself, and swore to all equal conditions, agreed with them and offered sacrifice, honored the temple, and dealt kindly with the place, and accepted well of Maccabees, made him principal governor from Ptolemais unto Gerhenians. Came to Ptolemais, the people there were grieved for the covenants, for they stormed, because they would make their covenants void. Lysias went up to the judgment seat, said as much as could be in defense of the cause, persuaded, pacified, made them well affected, returned to Antioch. Thus it went touching the king's coming and depart. All praises to the Most High. All right, we getting to the end of this thing. We got 2 Mac 14 and 15. 2 Mac 14 and 15. I don't know why that screen's still black, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and keep reading anyway. We're gonna go ahead and keep reading anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. It's all good, man. It'll be all good. You know, you be wanting to have the best present, like present something very well prepared to our people. You know what I'm saying? But you know, these type things happen. These type things happen. We show ain't controlling any of these airwaves right now. All right. Second Mac 14. Second Mac 14 and 1 is next. Second Mac 14 and 1. As long as y'all getting it, all praises. All praises. All right, second Mac 14 and 1. After 3 years was Judas informed that Demetrius, the son of Seleucus, having entered by the haven of Tripolis with a great power and navy. Yeah, y'all, navies ain't nothing new either. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of us start thinking that like what's going on now, you feel me, with the technological advancements and all that, that there wasn't no navies, there wasn't no armies, there wasn't, man, all that was going on back then too. Solomon had a navy. He'll tell you that in the Book of Kings. Solomon had a navy. Solomon lived way before them. Verse 2, had taken the country and killed Antiochus and Lysias his protector. Okay, so Antiochus, the son of Antiochus, got bodied, got put down. All right, verse 3. Now one Alchemist, who had been high priest, had defiled himself willfully in the times of their mingling with the Gentiles, seeing that by no means he could save himself nor have any access to the holy altar, came to King Demetrius in the 150th year, presented unto him a crown of gold and a palm, and also of the bowls which were used solemnly in the temple, So that day he held his peace. Now, true about this is a sellout Israelite right here. Negro named Alchemist. Negro named Alchemist. You see? It's crazy because it said right here that he defiled himself willfully. When the heathens had control over the temple and the altar and all that, he was down with it. He was down with it. He just wanted to be high priest. Seeing that by no means he could save himself nor have any more success to the holy altar. Hear about this. He presented a crown of gold to King Demetrius and a palm, and also the bows which were used solemnly in the temple, something that we use on the regular, right? Something holy. And so that day he held his peace. Howbeit, having gotten opportunity to further his foolish enterprise and being called into council by Demetrius, and asked how the Jews stood affected and what they intended, he answered thereunto. Those of the Jews that he called Assyrians, whose captain is Judah Maccabee, nourish war and are seditious and will not let the rest be in peace. So this is a sellout Negro right here, a traitor, right? Somebody that's not dedicated to the cause. He go tell the king and them, yeah, man, I call these sect of Jews, we're gonna call them Assyrians, right? Yeah, they got a captain named Judah Maccabee. He a troublemaker, he a rebel rouser. He won't just let us live in peace with y'all. Wow, man. Wow, man. You dig? Therefore, I, being deprived of mine ancestors' honor, I mean the high priesthood, am now come hither. He like, man, you know, I must be. He over there crying. I'm supposed to be high priest. And I would be had not Judah Maccabee and all them been out here causing all this rebel rouse and you know, king, and here's this crown of gold. Here you go. Over here crying. Because the Most High ain't using you to work mighty wonders in Israel. You gonna, instead of falling in line, thanking the Most High for raising up strong men, what you doing? You go rat on your people to the king. And that spirit is still running rampant in Israel, man. You got people that rather sell you out. You got people rather sell you out, man. Sell you out, you understand, than fall in line for a righteous cause. First, verily, verse 8. First, verily, for the unfeigned care I have things pertaining to the king. And secondly, even for that I intend the good of mine own country. For all our nation is in no small misery through the unadvised dealing of them aforesaid. He was like, we here are in a terrible position ever since they stood up and started fighting. Wherefore, O king, seeing knowest all these things, be careful for the country and our nation, which is pressed on every side, according to the clemency that thou readily showest unto all. For as long as Judah liveth, it is not possible that the state should be quiet. He like, man, he a troublemaker. As long as he breathing, you feel me, this realm will not be at peace. And that's just like a bootlicking Negro. That's just like our Uncle Tom. That's just like one of them Clarence. What's that Supreme Court Justice? Clarence Thomas. That's just like a Clarence Thomas. That's like a Clarence Thomas, man. And he gonna say, well, you know, as long as he lives. So now you talking about you're plotting. This is an Israelite talking to a heathen about killing one of his brothers, or at least arranging the death of one of his brothers, man. You see, you ain't supposed to be a traitor in this hour. You're supposed to be dedicated in this hour. Not a traitor, not unloyal, not inconsistent. You understand? You supposed to be straight, die hard with this, man. What you talking about? 11. This was no sooner spoken of him, but others of the king's friends being maliciously set against Judah, did more incense Demetrius, and forthwith calling Nicanor, this heathen. Remember his name, Nicanor, because there's a feast that we supposed to keep a day before Purim. A day before Purim, there's a feast that is called the Destruction of Nicanor, and we're supposed to observe it, based on what we about to read now. Yeah, like David Clark show. Like that boy, look, hey man, I ain't never seen nobody like him. I done read about bootlickers before, but man, to witness a bootlicker like Sheriff David Clark. Oh man, boy, that I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it. I say it's not really like this. You feel me? Further proof we are these people. David Clark would have been alchemist back in the day. He'd have been old sellout Negro, alchemist. All right. Forthwith calling Nicanor, who had been master of the elephants, making him governor over Judea, he sent him forth. Look at this heathen. Commanded him to slay Judah and to scatter them that were with him, and to make Alchemist high priest of the great temple. So he's like, look, make Alchemist high priest. Make him high priest, right? But make sure y'all kill Judah Mac. He got to go. Now see that? Make sure y'all kill Judah Mac. He got to go. Wow. Wow. And when you're doing major league work like what Judah and them was doing, you better believe the other side is definitely plotting. Most High is for you. Who can be against you, man? Nothing and no one, no thing can stand against you. You understand? And then to set this bootlicker up as high priest, David Clark. Then the heathen that had fled out of Judea from Judah came to Nicanor by flocks, thinking the harm and calamities of the Jews to be their welfare. Now, when the Yahudim or the Jews heard of Nicanor's coming and that the heathen were up against them, they cast earth upon their heads and made supplication to him that had established his people forever, and who always helpeth his portion with the manifestation of his presence. That's what that word manifest. No, y'all be like, y'all speaking esoteric. Y'all we ain't realize how powerful we are. You can ask the Most High for whatever in righteousness and believe it. You understand? Fast, pray. Show the Most High you lower than a footprint, lower than snail nuts. You understand? And thank him as if it already didn't happen. And guess what? Manifestation. Manifest. It's revealed. You see? So when you heard your brother Maccabee or you heard Yaki speak of things, speak of the unseen, you understand? Stuff that you can't see with your corner eye. Don't be so quick just to cast it off like, yo, that's new age. Look, they getting it all out the Bible when you done talking. We in the Bible with eyes, though. You see what I'm saying? They, in other words, they right here that quick. That's what they did. They heard about this heathen coming. It's like us hearing all the UN troops about to come sack and enforce this new world order on us or something, right? They cast earth upon their head, sprinkled ashes or earth on their head, made supplication, meaning they prayed to the Most High that had established his people forever and who always helped his portion with manifestation of his presence. So in other words, they knew how to petition the unseen to make him visible. You understand? And again, y'all, that's very, very powerful. It's very powerful. When anytime you can speak something into existence, you are a major league threat out here. You understand? That's all they doing. They praying to the Most High, and he's sending all type of stuff, angels, and you know what I'm saying, all type of stuff to let Israel know I'm with you. Don't even fear these heathens. You see, and that's the mindset we ought to be in, man. We have power, like it's lying dormant within us. You don't believe it though. As long as you doubt, and as long as you say, I don't know, you ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna see it. 16. So at the commandment of the captain, they removed straight ways from thence and came near to them at the town of Dissau. Now Simon, Judah's brother, had joined battle with Nicanor, but was somewhat discomfited through the sudden silence of his enemies. Nevertheless, Nicanor, hearing of the manliness of them that were with Judah and the courageousness that they had to fight for their country, durst not try the matter by the sword. He's like, let me rethink this. Let me rethink this. You feel me? Let me rethink this, because this man like a lion out here, man. You dig? Wherefore he sent Posidonius and Theodotus and Matthias to make peace. So when they had taken long advisement thereupon, and the captain had made the multitude acquainted therewith, and it appeared that they were all of one mind, they consented to the covenants. All right. And appointed a day to meet in together by themselves. And when the day came and stools were set for either of them, loot is placed on me in ready and convenient places. Look, you never trust these heathens, man. I'm talking about something. Let's make an agreement. Let's make peace or whatever. But the whole time he plotted. Lest some treachery should be suddenly practiced by the enemy, so they made peaceable conference. Now Nicanor abode in Jerusalem and did no hurt, but sent away the people that came flocking unto him. And he would not willingly have Judah out of his sight, for he loved the man from his heart. He prayed him also to take a wife and to beget children. So he married, was quiet, and took part of this life. But Alchemists, perceiving the love that was betwixt them, and considering the covenants that were made, came to Demetrius and told him that Nicanor was not well affected toward the state, but that he had ordained Judah a traitor to his realm to be the king's successor. Now Malcolm is like, nah, your boy Nicanor done got too cool with Judah Mac, man. He done got too cool. Something else is going on, right? Then the king, being in a rage and provoked with the accusations of the most wicked man, wrote to Nicanor, signifying that he was much displeased with the covenants, and commanded him that he should send Maccabee as prisoner in all haste unto Antioch. When this came to Nicanor's hearing, he was much confounded in himself, and took it grievously that he should make void the articles which were agreed upon, man being in no fault. So the king letting it be known, whatever agreements you made with him is null and void. Send him bound to Antioch. No, we supposed to kill him. But because there was no dealing against the king, he watched his time to accomplish this thing by policy. Notwithstanding, when Maccabeus saw that Nicanor began to be churlish unto him, that he entreated him more roughly than he was wont, perceiving that such sour behavior came not of good, he gathered together not a few of his men and withdrew himself from Nicanor. But the other, knowing that he was notably prevented by Judah policy, came into the great and holy temple and commanded the priests that were offering their usual sacrifices to deliver him the man. When they swore they could not tell where the man was whom he saw, he stretched out his right hand toward the temple and made an oath in this manner: if ye will not deliver me Judah as a prisoner, I will lay this temple of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh even with the ground. And I will break down the altar and erect a notable temple unto Bacchus. Don't forget about the Bacchus leaf. Don't forget about the Bacchus leaf. That symbol you thought was your heart this whole time is actually a symbol of a false god, Bacchus. That so-called heart symbol. Now trip off the blasphemy of this heathen right here. He like, man, if y'all don't deliver him, I'm gonna lay this temple of God even with the ground. I'm gonna level this place. I'm gonna break down the altar and erect a notable temple. In other words, he said, I'm gonna break down this house of your God, and I'm gonna build the house of my God on top of it. Wrong thing to be saying, boy. After these words, he departed. Then the priests lifted up their hands toward heaven and besought him that was ever a defender of their nation, saying in this manner, y'all highlight this prayer right here. Thou, O Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh of all things, who has need of nothing, was pleased that the temple of thine habitation should be among us. Therefore now, O holy Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh of all holiness, keep this house ever undefiled, which lately was cleansed, and stop every unrighteous mouth. Now was there accused unto Nicanor one Razis, one of the elders of Jerusalem, a lover of his countrymen and a man of very good report, who for his kindness was called a father of the Yahudim. For in the former times, when they mingled not themselves with the Gentiles, he had been accused of Judaism, and did boldly jeopard his body and life with all vehemency for the religion of the Jews. But the whole time they've been fighting for the law, statutes, and commandments. So don't get caught up into what you see today, y'all. Judaism, spinning dreidels, oral circumcisions, and all that madness you see today. This is, when you read Judaism in this, it's talking about the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So Nicanor, willing to declare the hate that he burned to the Jews, sent about 500 men of war to take him. Well, he thought by taking him to do the Jews much hurt. Now, when the multitude would have taken the tower and violently broken into the outer door and bade that fire should be brought to burn it, he being ready to be taken on every side fell upon his sword. He's like, man, look, I fall upon my sword. That's a form of suicide in the Bible. You understand? And again, never to put that vibration out there. You understand? But there were men like Samson. Samson pushed down the whole building, not only on top of the Philistines, but himself. He ended up dying. You feel me? In certain situations you see in the Bible where men say, I follow my sword, I kill myself, I let the heathen. Feel me? But not to put that vibration out there. All right. But it is a fact. When you read fall on his sword, he killed himself. Choosing rather to die mindfully. Y'all see that? Choosing rather to die mindfully than to come into the hands of the wicked, to be abused otherwise than beseemed his noble birth. He like, look, I'll die manfully before I fall into y'all hands. Y'all animals. I know what y'all gonna do to me. You understand? So this is a situation where suicide is looked at as honorable. But not to put, again, never to put that vibration out there, but to overlook the matter would be a lack of study as well. There are men in the scripture, you understand, that actually killed themselves so they wouldn't fall into the hands of the enemies. Samson killed himself and all them Philistines, and in his death, he killed more Philistines in his death than he did when he was living. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's it is what it is. It is what it is. Right here. But missing his stroke through haste, the multitude also rushing within the doors, he ran boldly up to the wall and cast himself down manfully among the thickest of them. They quickly giving back and a space being made, he fell down to the midst of the void place. Nevertheless, while there was yet breath within him, being inflamed with anger, he rose up, though his blood gushed out like spouts of water, and his wounds were grievous. Yet he ran through the midst of the throng and standing upon a steep rock, when as his blood was now quite gone, he plucked out his bowels and taking them in both his hands, he cast them upon the throne and calling upon Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh of life and spirit to restore him those again. He thus died. He like, look, you heathens have never had a mastery of me. I'll take my own life before I fall into y'all hands. And that was his spirit. All right, last chapter. 2nd Mac chapter 15. All right, remember how the savage heathens did Nat Turner? Yeah. Yeah, oral circumcision. That's what these heathens out here doing, y'all. Passing syphilis and all type of madness. Yeah, the circumstances of warfare, how it shot, thou son of light. That's right, Shaul. That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Y'all get some understanding thus far. Go ahead and throw a 7. Go ahead and throw a 7 up in this deal. Print Blake, Shalom, what it do? All right. And again, y'all, this right here is just the last chapter. Piece of dedication from 6 to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Here in the STL, we're going to bring the Shabbat in. You understand? We're going to praise the Almighty Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. I just want to go over more acts of Judah Maccabee. You feel me? And just show how dedicated to dedication, wholly devoted. You understand? Like, and that's the mindset we ought to be in. We're supposed to be wholly devoted to our God. Let's read the definition of dedicated one more time. It says devoted to a cause, ideal, or purpose. Another one says wholly committed to a particular course of thought or action. Wholly. All right. Right here, synonyms of dedicated is constant, devoted, devout, faithful, loyal, steadfast, steady, true. Feel me? That's how we supposed to be. That's how these brothers was, man. They were wholly dedicated to this thing. As their father Mattathias told them, y'all better bang. Y'all better bang and in spirit. And in spirit, y'all, be wholly committed to this thing here. Never be ashamed of your culture. Never be ashamed of your God. Never be ashamed. If we don't stand up and say something, who will? Right? Or do the light go? So we just let the light go out? Is that what y'all saying? Just let the light go out. And just turn up your Christmas music. Chestnuts roasting. Stop it, man. Or get in the Mr. Rogers spirit. Would you be my neighbor? What you be, man, changing your sweater jackets and doing all type of, man? Look, stop that, man. Man up. He'll even say about the our mother, the mother and 7 sons, man. It says she had a manly stomach. You feel me? In other words, and she was, look, she was totally devoted to the cause of the Most High. Even though she was seeing her sons being slain in one day, she was committed to what it is. And you mean to tell me that we got all this history? We got brothers and sisters who have laid their life down for the cause. For us in this last hour to be compromising, man, is sickening, to say the least, man. It's sickening. Sickening. What are we compromising for? What are we compromising for? All right. Second Mac 15. Second Mac 15 and 1. Second Mac 15 and 1. All right. But Nicanor, hearing that Judas and his company were in the strongholds about Samaria, resolved without any danger to set upon them on the Sabbath day. We're like, we're going to catch them on the Shabbat while they resting. Y'all see that? See that? Nevertheless, the Yahudim that were compelled to go with him said, "Oh, destroy not so cruelly and barbarously, but give honor to that day which he that seeth all things have honor with holiness above all other days." So they're like, look, man, don't, like, you might want to chill on out. Don't be popping all this mischief up on the Sabbath. You tripping on the Shabbat. Nah, you don't want to be doing this on the Shabbat. You tripping. Huh? It says right here, it says, which he that seeth all things have honor with holiness above all other days. The Sabbath is beyond important. Then the most ungracious wretch, demanded, if there were a mighty one in heaven that had commanded the Sabbath day to be kept. And when they said, there is in heaven a living power and mighty who commanded the 7th day to be kept, then said the other, and I also am mighty upon earth, and I command to take arms and to do the king's business. Yet he obtained not to have his wicked will done. He's like, yeah, whatever. So this heathen went over and beyond at this point. He already said he was going to lay the temple even with the ground, and then, you understand, put up a temple of his God on top of the temple of the Most High. Now he's trying to come at the Israelites on the Sabbath day, and the Israelites, even the sellouts on this side, like, look, don't do that. You tripping, right? He said, if there is one in heaven, they like, it is. He's like, well, look, I'm on earth. Now I'm here to do the king's business. Verse 6. Remember about the destruction of Nicanor. So Nicanor, in exceeding pride and haughtiness, determined to set up a public monument of his victory over Judah and them that were with him. But Maccabees had ever sure confidence that Yod-Heh-Wah would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. They're like, look, expect the victory, right? And when y'all praying, when you praying to the Almighty, man, expect your prayer to be answered. You understand? In full confidence, in full assurance, right? This is how Judah Mackinnon was able to manifest that reality of what? The Most High fighting for them. They were successful. Why? Because they prayed, they spoke it, they felt it, and they moved on it. You understand? Thus, their reality was what? They were successful in what it is they were doing. Like, believe it or not, the Bible is a blueprint to the unseen, man. There's metaphysical principles all throughout the Bible. Meta means beyond, physical means the flesh. So beyond the flesh. You understand? The whole book is supernatural. It is, right? You're supernatural. You just don't know it. All right, so he told them and to expect the victory and help, which should come unto them from the Almighty El Shaddai. And so comforting them out of the law. So comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and with putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful. Sure about this. When he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen, the breach of the oaths. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defense of shields and spears, as with comfortable and good word. You can arm your people, right? You can be confident in the law and the prophets. in the gospel and the good news of Yahushua. Right? It comforts you. It gives you a whole nother mindset. You put on the armor of Yahweh at that point. You see? So he said, so he armed them, not so much with defensive shields and spears as with comfortable and good words. See? And beside that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. So then he told them a vision. He told them a vision. This was his vision. Trip off this. That Onias, who had been high priest, a virtuous and a good man, reverent in conversation, gentle in condition, well spoken also, and exercised from a child in all points of virtue, holding up his hands, prayed for the whole body of Yahudim. So he's like, Onias, the high priest, praying. This was the vision he had, praying for all of us. This done in like manner, there appeared a man with gray hairs, and exceeding glorious, who was of a wonderful and excellent majesty. And Onias answered, saying, this is a lover of the brethren. Y'all hear that? Love your people, man. Love your people. That spirit of hate that's vibrating through Israel, man, is off. The spirit of division is off. All right? Love your people, man. Right? This is a lover of the brethren who prayeth much for the people and for the holy city. To wit mean that is Jeremiah, the prophet of Yahweh. So in his vision, so in Judah Mac vision, that he was telling his soldiers to make them more encouraged, to arm them, so they can be valiant and fight. Told him a vision that he had, right? He saw the high priest praying for our people. And then there was a man who appeared with gray hairs, who was a lover of the brethren, who prayed much for the people. This is a vision, y'all. Never forget this. And he said, well, the old man with the gray hairs is Jeremiah the prophet, which is wild because Jeremiah had already been dead. Jeremiah died after Jerusalem was sacked by the Babylonians. That was hundreds of years earlier, right? But Judah Mac is telling his troopers, his soldiers, this vision that he saw. Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judah a sword of gold, and in giving it spake thus. So he's saying in my vision that I had, Yirmiyahu the prophet, or Jeremiah the prophet, gave me a gold sword. And this is what he said in the vision. Take this holy sword, a gift from Yod-Heh-Wahe, with the which thou shalt wound the adversaries. Now this is crazy because y'all haven't heard of King Arthur, and his sword Excalibur. Man, they get it all from the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? You get it all from the Bible. They get it all from the Bible, man. You feel me? The whole thing with Excalibur and King Arthur and Merlin and all that. You feel me? All their so-called comic books or stories that you only see in movies and all that. Everything is inspired out of scripture. All right? Everything. I trip off this right here. Thou shalt wound the adversary. 17. Thus being well comforted by the words of Judah, which were very good and able to stir them up to valor and to encourage the hearts of the young men, they determined not to pitch camp, but courageously to set upon them and manfully to try the matter by conflict, because the city and the sanctuary and the temple were in danger. You see, thus being well comforted by the words of Judah. So once he told them that vision, the soldiers was like, we ready to rock. What you mean? We ready to rock. You feel me? It is what it is. We ready to rock, right? So, and it said right there, which were very good and able to stir them up to valor and to encourage the hearts of the young men, they determined not to pitch camp, but courageously to set upon them and manfully to try the matter by conflict, because the city and the sanctuary and the temple were in danger. They like, look, later for pitching camp. Who finna sleep after you done told us a vision like that? We ready to rock. Let's get it. 18. For the care that they took for their wives and their children, their brethren and folks was in least account with them. But the greatest and principal fear was for the holy temple. See that? Also, they that were in the city took not the least care, be in trouble for the conflict abroad. And now when all and now when it's all looked what should be the trial, and the enemies will already come near, and the army was set in array, and the beast convenient place, and the horsemen set in wings, Maccabee is seeing the coming of the multitude, and the diverse preparations of armor, and the fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hands toward heaven, and called upon Yod-Heh-Wah that worketh wonders, knowing that victory cometh not by arms or not by weapons, but even as it seems good to him, he giveth it to such as are worthy. These brothers were always praying, man. Always praying, right? And went to war on full faith. So in spirit, wage war against this wickedness. Wage war against the worships of the Gentiles. Wage war against all that, man. You ain't going through all this just to be compromising right now. These brothers didn't compromise. Right? These brothers didn't go along to get along. You feel me? They got a charge from their father on his deathbed to die banging for this truth. Recover the law at the hands of the Gentiles, recover the temple, the sanctuary, the altar. You understand? And to fear not the words of a sinful man. 22. I like this. This is another prayer. Therefore, in this prayer, he said, after this manner, O Yod-Heh-Wah, thou didst send thine angel in the time of Ezekiel. Hezekiah, my bad. Hezekiah, king of Judea, and did slay in the host of Sennacherib 185,000. That happened overnight, right? We prayed to the Almighty, woke up, was ready to go to war. The Most High had already handled that business. He sent one angel. One angel killed 185,000 of your enemies overnight, right? Now you mean to tell me you think praying is for the squares and for the lames? Prayer is a weapon. Prayer is your hotline to the Most High to call in an airstrike. 23. Wherefore now also, Yod-Heh-Wah of heaven, send a good angel before us for a fear and dread unto them. And through the might of thine arm, let those be stricken with terror that come against thy holy people to blaspheme. He ended thus. Y'all highlight all these prayers, man. These prayers are powerful. These prayers are powerful. Then Nicanor and they that were with him came forward with trumpets and songs. But Judah and his company encountered the enemies with invocation and prayer. We got a video on the channel called Invoking the Name of the Most High. And some of these mumble mouth Negroes got offended. Invoking, that sounds like witchcraft. What was Judah and them doing? What do you think you doing when you're praying to the Most High that he fight for you and that he reveal himself to you? You're invoking his presence. What do you think you doing? Huh? They came with music, but Judah and his company encountered the enemy with invocation and prayer. 27. So they're fighting with their hands and praying unto Yod-Heh-Wah with their hearts. They slew no less than 35,000 men. But through the appearance of Yod-Heh-Wah, they were greatly cheered. Allah, Lord, Yah. And when the battle was done, returned again with joy, they knew that Nicanor lay dead in his harness. And they made a great shout and a noise, praising the Almighty in their own language. Allah, Lord, Yah. And Judah, who was ever the chief defender of the citizens, both in body and mind, and who continued his love toward his countrymen all his life. That's the spirit we need to be in, man. Love your people. You understand? All his life, commanded to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder. Woof. And bring them to Jerusalem, chop his head off and chop off his hand, but start where his shoulder connects to his arm connects to his shoulder. We'll cut his arms off, cut his head and his arms off, and bring him to Jerusalem. Somebody say, well, why? Remember what Nicanor did? Remember the blasphemy he was speaking? Remember he said he was going to destroy the temple of the Most High and make it the temple of his God? If they don't betray Judah and deliver him up? Right? You see that? He said, man, cut his head off and his arm and bring them to Jerusalem. His hand with his shoulder and bring them to Jerusalem. So when he was there and called them of his nation together and set the priests before the altar, he sent for them that were of the tower and showed them vile Nicanor's head and the hand of that blasphemer. with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty El Shaddai. And when he had cut out the tongue of that ungodly Nicanor, so his head, his hands, his shoulder, and his tongue, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls and hang up the reward of his madness before the temple. You see that? They said feed pieces of his tongue to the birds, to the fowls. Woo! You know, we're supposed to have a feast for this. So every man prays toward the heaven, the glorious Yod-Heh, saying, blessed be he that hath kept his own place undefiled. He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, and evident and manifest signs of all the help of Yod-Heh. He hanged his head on the tower. Huh? And they ordained all with a common decree. Trip off this. And they ordained all with a common decree in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar, the day before Mordecai's day. That shows you that the day before Purim, because Purim is the 14th of Adar and the 15th, right? But the day of the destruction of Nicanor is the 12th of Adar. So really, y'all, the next feast that's coming up is the destruction of Nicanor, and it leads right into the feast of Purim. You understand? We supposed to keep the 13th of Adar, the 14th of Adar, and the 15th of Adar. All these are roughly a month before what? Passover. A month before Passover, unleavened bread. So the next feast, technically, I know a lot of people are like, next feast is Purim. Technically, the next feast is the destruction of Nicanor, which is the day before Purim. All right, which is the day before Purim. All right, y'all, we in 2nd Mac 15. We about to close it on out in a second. So what y'all sure y'all good. All right, thus went it with Nicanor. Now remember Nicanor, because he blasphemed Yod-Heh, his head was cut off, his hands were cut off, his shoulder was cut out, and his tongue was cut out, and they chopped his tongue up in pieces and fed it to the birds because he was talking bad about our God. That's powerful, man. Thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time forth the Hebrews had the city in their power. And here will I make an end. And if I have done well, and as is fitting the story, it is that which I desired. But if slenderly and meanly, it is that which I could attain to. For as it is hurtful to drink wine or water alone, and as wine mingled with water is pleasant, and delighteth the taste, even so speech, finely framed, delighteth the ears of them that read the story, and heard shall be an end. Hallelujah. Y'all got some understanding around here. If y'all got some understanding, go ahead and throw a 7 up in the chat. Y'all willing. You feel me? I see how everything done blacked out, but I see my voice still can be heard. So all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High, owner, creator, and possessor of all things. I'm about to go ahead and get about her in a minute. Before I go, do y'all have any questions, though? Any questions about what's going on, man? Again, this is the Feast of the Dedication. For us in the STL, we've been celebrating it from the evening of the 2nd to the evening of the 10th. Today is the 7th. In a few hours, we're going to be getting with the brothers and sisters, and we're going to feast up. We'll be live again, too. We're going to go over some more scriptures and all that. But y'all got some understanding. Our praises. Chantel Prescott, bless you, sister. Understanding, overstanding, told out all praises. 2-2. TT Urge call you. All right, I'm gonna call you soon as I get off here. Amana Tez and Boo Chop Shop. I'm gonna call you soon as I get about her. Bang, bang, bang. My real brother Yazifa slapped a couple weeks ago for disrespect. We say, boy, he slapped the taste out of his mouth up. And hey, bros, better get themselves together. You know what I'm saying? All good, all praises, glory, and honor. Powerful, all praises, man. Hey, look, and again, y'all, never let the light go out. Never let the light go out. Oh, he said, what's the address to the feast? You in town, huh? Yahoo. I don't know if Noah's still listening. Let me try to look through my pictures real quick, man. I got the flyer up in her. somewhere. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna try to get it for you. Let me try to find it. Let me see. Bing, bing, bing. What? Is it in WhatsApp? It might be in the WhatsApp. Let me see. See what's going down. Let me see. I think it's WhatsApp group we got. Let's see one more time. Brother say, what's the address? We got her off the Rock Road. Bing, bing. I don't even got that deal on. Brother say, you want the address? I put that there. Is it on? It might be on my Facebook page. Let me see. Bing, bing, bing. Camera. Down. Reason download. Yep, download. Bing. All right. I'm finna put it up in there, but it's 12365 St. Charles Rock Road, Bridgeton, Missouri 63044. Let me go ahead and put that on there real quick. I'm put it on up in there. All right. 12365. 12365 St. Charles Rock Road. Rock Road. All right, what is it? What is it? Bridgeton, Missouri. That's right outside of STL, Bridgeton, Missouri. 63044. And that starts at 6 o'clock this evening, roughly 4 hours. Let me go ahead and put that up in the chat for you. All right. Try to put that up. Oh, I'm tripping. It's all good, Hebrew. Bang, bang, bang. Hallelujah. 12365. Well, look for Duell on this chat. Duell should be on it. St. Charles Rock Road, Bridgeton, Missouri 63044. All right, bro. So you want a contact number? Let me see. I got you. Hold on. 288-9077. Duell, they finna be hitting your phone up, player. Oh man. All right. Yeah, it's contact. I'm putting it in here now. 428. His brother. If it be blowing your phone up, Hebrew. Whoa. Y'all want to say shalom? Say shalom.
Shalom.
Short leg is in the building. 97. Is it 97.7? Boy, I got one of them tongue twisting numbers. Yeah, 97.7. Four, 2, 8, 7, 0. Duell. That's Deacon Duell. Deacon Duell. Brother does great work around here. All right, address is 12365 St. Charles Rock Road, Bridgeton, Missouri. Missouri 63044. 63044. Bang! There you go. There you go. Shower, that's your number. Okay. They all say shalom, short leggers. Y'all say Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Oh, praise to the Most High. All right, so y'all got any questions? Y'all don't got any questions? I'm gonna go ahead and get on the bottom here. We gotta start getting ready. Gotta pick the rib up and get all these short leggers together. So if y'all in town, y'all willing, I see y'all facing a few. You understand? Let's go ahead and live up the name of the Most High. Remember what the Most High have done for our forefathers in the past and what he's continued to do. So all praise, glory now to the Most High. I love y'all indeed in truth. Thank y'all for all y'all prayers and support. Yahoo.